The Georgia rally.
Your vote in this election, can you imagine 7 days? We will end inflation. We will stop the invasion of criminals coming into our country, and we will bring back the American dream. We're going to bring it back. We're going to bring it back.
Democrat Kamala Harris spent yesterday in the swing state of Michigan talking once again about abortion rights. And this may not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think of election interference.
A call in the early morning hours to 911 indicating that there was smoking and a fire at one of our ballot boxes.
Vancouver Police Chief Troy Price on KATU TV. Authorities investigating ballot drop box fires in Vancouver, where hundreds of ballots were charred, and Portland, Oregon, where several ballots were lost. There's an effort underway aimed at convincing more Jewish Americans to hop aboard the Trump train this election.
The door-to-door outreach to Jewish voters with a history of backing Republicans is part of a new effort that a group is undertaking this year in 5 presidential battleground states in hopes of boosting Trump over Democrat Kamala Harris in the November 5th election. Although surveys show that Jews vote decidedly Democratic, the Republican Jewish Coalition is hoping that the door-to-door knocking will peel off enough votes to make a difference in an election year when the war with Israel and Hamas has stoked debate and provoked division. The Republican Jewish Coalition has purchased $15 million in advertising in Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, and Pennsylvania. Bernie Bennett reporting.
Longtime Trump ally Steve Bannon out of prison this morning. He served 4 months for contempt of Congress, ignoring a January 6 subpoena. Wall Street Dow futures down 165 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Anyone with everyday aches and pains, I've got a question. What are you missing out on? Probably a lot. So let me tell you about Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. In about 3 weeks, you'll discover what it's like to feel better. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4RELIEF.
Hey, it's Matt Walsh, podcaster, best-selling children's author, and world-renowned DEI consultant. My hit comedy and #1 grossing documentary of the decade, Am I Racist?, is now streaming exclusively on Daily Wire Plus. I went undercover into the world of DEI and got the elites of the establishment to say all the quiet parts out loud. The only way to watch Am I Racist is with a Daily Wire Plus membership. Head to dailywire.com/subscribe. Use code DEI for 35% off your new annual membership. Don't miss it. Am I Racist? Streaming now exclusively on Daily Wire Plus.
South Korea sounding the alarm over the growing military cooperation between North Korea and Russia, with North Korean troops now fighting alongside the Russians in Ukraine. The BBC's Jean McKenzie in the South Korean capital.
Seoul is currently weighing up how to respond, whether to send weapons to Ukraine and perhaps a team to monitor the situation on the ground. Its greatest concern is that Moscow might help Pyongyang improve its weapons program in return for this latest support. South Korea's intelligence agency believes Russia has already helped North Korea build a military spy satellite.
Hezbollah has a new leader, apparently a new target for Israel. A Lebanon-based terror group says Sheikh Naim Qasem will take charge following Israel's assassination of Hassan Nasrallah last month. Qasem served as Hezbollah's #2 for more than 30 years, the group vowing to continue with Nasrallah's policies. Townhall.com. It's jail time for another participant in the January 6th unrest, the U.S. Capitol.
An actor known for his roles in the television comedies Bob's Burgers and Arrested Development has been sentenced to 1 year in prison for his part in the mob's attack on the U.S. Capitol nearly 4 years ago. Jay Johnston joined other rioters in a heave-ho push against police officers guarding a tunnel entrance to the Capitol during the January 6, 2021 riot. Johnston expressed regret for his conduct before being sentenced to 1 year and 1 day behind bars. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
The Dodgers now just a game away from becoming the 2024 World Series champions. Los Angeles taking a commanding 3-0 lead by topping the New York Yankees 4-2 last night. Freddie Freeman homered for the 3rd straight game, and Walker Buehler pitched another World Series gem. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Hope everybody's doing well.
What is it?
Out.
Red sky by morn, sailors be warned.
Well, it's supposed to be a windy one today.
Oh, there you go. So don't go sailing.
Yeah, it's...
Well, or go sailing. I mean, you're going to definitely get some pretty good winds.
Yeah. It'll blow you south.
Okay.
according to the weather report here, you're going to go south. But yeah, it's supposed to get windy today, and then with that, bringing cooler temps. Again, today we're supposed to be in the 80s. I think 85 today.
Wow.
But with the winds, we're looking at gusts up to 40 this afternoon, so it's going to be Tuesday.
Cool. So I'm going to need to go grab my hat.
Yeah, 10 to 20 this morning, 20 to 30, increasing, gusting to 40.
Gotcha.
But tomorrow high is 71, so yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to go from, we were 90 yesterday to 85 to 71. And then by Friday night, we've got rain.
Yep.
Yeah. They were saying Friday earlier, but now just Friday night.
Friday night. Perfect timing.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are like me, fans of the morning and love to drive around under the cover of darkness, get it in while you can this week, or start waking up really early in the morning, because all goes away as of Sunday.
Yeah, we doing the time change?
Yeah, we're doing the shuffle.
This is the one I like.
I know.
You get the hour.
Okay, no.
I know.
Everybody says they like it because they get an extra hour. Honestly, though,
I know you don't.
What are you doing with your extra hour?
Not working.
You're sleeping.
I'll take it.
Most of the time, people spend their extra hour sleeping.
Actually,
I don't even notice it happens half the time.
Actually, technically, I don't. Because usually what my tradition is...
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Saturday night, I put it in my brain. So I'm like, nope. It says it's 9 o'clock.
Oh.
It's 8 o'clock.
See, I do it earlier. I do it right after the remote. I'm like, we're gonna set the clock back now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I got off early then.
I usually evening after dinner. That's when after dinner I'm like, all right, I am now officially in the daylight savings or whatever mode we're going into. So.
Yeah, but I mean, what do you get for it? You get early sunrise and way early sunset.
It just
you get that eerie feeling at 5:45 at night, like I need to go to bed.
It's just like you get the snack pack with the one that's a little bit bigger, and you're like, oh, you know what I mean? It just feels like that. You feel like you got the family size.
I got the comparison. No, check this out. When you go to the store and you buy a box of Little Debbie's, you get the traditional Little Debbie's.
Yes.
Now, when you go to the gas station and buy Little Debbie's, for some reason, the gas station Little Debbie snack cakes are like, hey, let's get weird with it.
Yeah.
They got like double-decker fudge rounds and a whole extra layer of Nutty Bar.
Same as the thing with the moon pie.
Yeah?
Like if you buy like moon pie in the box of 6 or whatever it comes in, the moon pies are tiny.
Yeah.
But you buy them individually at the gas station or wherever in the grocery store checkout. It's the double-decker jobber. They got like lemon flavored, vanilla flavored. I get, by the way, my go-to for moon pie, chocolate traditional, double decker.
Love it.
That's my favorite.
You know what it reminds me of? Okay, so this is kind of an obscure reference or nostalgic reference for sure, but do you remember the show Supermarket Sweep?
Yes, I do remember that show.
Do you remember how at random they would just have giant inflatable things that you could grab for bonus money? I always loved that.
Wasn't like Mark, the guy that...
Mark Briscoe was the... not Mark Briscoe.
Berman?
No, actually I think it was Mark Briscoe, maybe television production. Mark Goodson.
No, but it was...
the host?
The host, wasn't it like...
Peter...
I thought it was like the Nickelodeon dude or something.
No, it wasn't Mark Summers.
Yeah.
They did a reboot of the show, and I think when they did, it was... what's her face from SNL? The taller...
Oh, yes, the Ghostbuster.
Leslie Jones.
Yeah, I saw that version of it. But that was weird because that version, they tried to make it like a mystery, like she was the store manager hanging up.
David Ruprecht.
Okay.
That's the guy.
See, in her version of Supermarket Sweep, they tried to put like drama and a storyline in it. Instead of it just being a game show where they're trying to
that's weird,
get ham and money and whatever.
Yeah, that's weird.
It was like, I'm the store manager and she lived in the office with the microphone, it was very weird. But
it's
anyway.
still one of my favorite shows in the entire world to go back and like binge watch on like Game Show Network.
Yeah.
When they put like a marathon of them. Because, I mean, no, it doesn't hold up. Not at all. But it's really cool because you get to see old food logos and stuff. And then the prizes that they were competing for.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's like a rug doctor.
Yeah.
It's just the most random, obscure stuff.
And to be honest, I would give Guys Grocery Games is a evolution of Supermarket Sweep.
Yeah, a little bit.
The only evolution part is now they cook.
Now they have to do something.
They run to the
with it.
grocery store and cook it instead of just going to the grocery store.
That was and when I was a kid, it's weird how these questions pop into your head when you're a kid, but when I was a kid and watched Supermarket Sweep, the first thing that I asked was, do they get to keep the stuff they shop for?
Because they got like 7 hams.
And John's loading up on the 6-pound hams.
Well, they had to get like a price thing and get over it without, so they were really, all right, 12 hams will equal. So the next thing they got, I don't remember, but I felt like you should.
And I know that it was probably illegal, but I'm surprised nobody ever tried the sweep method. It is Supermarket Sweep. How come nobody ever tried to sweep a shelf?
Yeah, well, I think there was rules.
You got penalized for dropping product. You got penalized for damaging cans.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And I thought there was a limit on certain things, like, you're not allowed to have 3 of those or something.
There were on certain ones. There's
but anyway.
Once he hits the 10-pound limit, he's moving on.
And they're just sitting there with 12.
Meanwhile, there's a giant inflatable Oscar Mayer wieners next to them.
But the whole dream of the show is for you to drive around in a grocery store just loading it up and then walking out with it. You know, that's the fantasy.
Honey, I got 17 bags of Pampers.
Yeah.
We were hungry.
Did you ever watch the coupon show on TLC?
Yeah, Extreme Couponing.
Yes.
Extreme Couponer. I did watch a little bit of that.
That one's entertaining to watch. Usually, like, if you ever see it now, it's usually like on Saturday or Sunday morning about 6, 7 o'clock. They'll show a 2 or 3 hour marathon of this show. That one and the Cheapskate one's another one that's a great one.
The Cheapskate one's great because you see just how savage people get in their real life. It's like, don't throw out your bath water. We can all use that. What is wrong with you? That's got my stink of the day in it.
I like the one where the guy, if he wanted to use power, it was all hooked up to his pedal bike.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's fine. You want to watch some TV? Come in here and get some exercise for 15 minutes. And you can watch 4 minutes of TV. The one thing that always bugged me about that couponing show, the people I feel the worst for. I mean, sure, the guy who's checking them out or the person who's checking them out, that sucks. But they're getting paid. The person I feel the worst for,
the restocker,
the lady who's stuck behind that lady. She's sitting here like she pulls out her envelope of coupons. This lady goes, crap.
In all fairness,
I'm not going to make the bank today, I guess.
In all fairness, if you're in a grocery store and you come upon a couponer, here's a clue. If they've got a whole cart full of razors or toothpaste or something, they're like, why on God's green earth they need 100 of those? They're couponing.
Or shopping for a charity. Let's not cast aspersions. It's been a rough couple of weeks for us here.
In this time, they are getting stuff. But if you see
See, disaster makes it to where you can't even tell the couponer from the non-couponer.
Well, but here's also a clue. If there's something like Duncan Hines cake mixes, 30 of those, that's more couponing.
You know how you get rid of the extreme couponer? The only way to do it and I hate to say this, you have to get rid of clerks because you don't see couponers trying to haggle the robot that everybody's checking themselves out with.
Do you know how long it would take for a couponer to use one of those self-checkouts?
Exactly. And that's why they don't do it. They put the onus of work on the clerk.
I think it's harder to. I think you have to be in a bigger city to really take a full advantage of extreme couponing. Because part of that is you got to access a lot of flyers.
True.
And down here, you really only got a couple papers to choose from.
And the other thing is, and this is kind of part of the consolidation of grocery stores, you don't really see double coupon days anymore.
Yeah, I think they've kind of started weeding away that stuff.
The one I remember when I was a kid was
COVID killed it.
Winn-Dixie, when I was a kid, had triple coupon Thursdays.
Yeah.
So my mom used to always take advantage of that. That's why we had like tons of cans of ranch-style beans in the house.
Yeah, but they are.
Oh, it's a versatile bean. I'll give you that.
You can eat them on there. They're
can use it for anything in place of pinto. It's just good out of the can for a quick pick-me-up.
Great pick-me-up. That's right. Oh, man. All right, let me give you the rundown for today. We're going to replay an interview this hour. With Veterans Day coming up here, Dara Dana joined us last week from the Daughters of American Revolution. He talks a little bit about flooding there because she's a county commissioner, and we were talking about that. But,
it was wet last week, all right? We were dealing.
But we do talk about, on Veterans Day, they're going to do a dedication of a DAR placard here at the Veterans Memorial. So we talked about DAR and all that a little bit with her. So we're going to play that for you here in a few minutes. In the 8 o'clock hour, Tom from Game Day Roswell is going to join us.
Oh, nice.
Talk a little bit. Of course, tis sports season with all the football and of course World Series and now basketball, hockey are starting to gear up here. The good time to go hang out and to go out play games and watch some. Have some snacks and watch some games and all that. So Tom will talk a little bit about what's going on at Game Day Roswell. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, CASA has a new CEO. We're going to meet them here in the 9 o'clock hour. Talk a little about what's going on at CASA.
Up at our CASA.
That's right.
What's up?
And then, of course, all of your features include news, the local, national variety, and all that good stuff. Before we do any of that, let's take a gander at that weather. And like I said, windy is the word for the day.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure overhead for now, so we'll stay clear for the overnight hours. A little windy and our low in the mid-50s, and then very gusty wind coming up on Tuesday. We have a fairly strong low pressure developing over the Four Corners area. That'll kick the wind up to about 40 miles an hour tomorrow. Watch out for some blowing dust. We will have sunshine, our high in the mid-80s. Cooler on Wednesday, 70 and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 58 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 51%. Winds currently out of the south at 12 miles per hour. Like I said, patchy blowing dust is expected for this afternoon. And by the way, it's probably going to happen because I know yesterday it wasn't nearly as windy, and pretty much all that dust and stuff on the streets was really whipping around yesterday. I was noticing it here downtown. It was pretty dusty. So I imagine we're going to see some of that this afternoon. Sunny with a high of 85 today, and the winds will be out of the south 10 to 20 early, then increasing 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear with an overnight low of 52 degrees. Winds will remain breezy out of the southwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. For you Wednesday, cooler. Sunny, high of only 71 tomorrow. Northwest winds at around 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear with an overnight low of 37. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny and a high near 70. So we may not even get there. Winds out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then Friday, sunny and 72. And then beginning Friday night and really through the weekend, we've got rain chances. Our best rain chance as of right now is Friday night, 40% under mostly cloudy skies, high of 55 or overnight low of 55, and then a 20% chance of rain Saturday with a high of 77. And they don't talk of rain during the day Sunday, but Sunday night and Monday we're looking at 20% chances of rain, high of 74 on Sunday too. So Maybe cross your fingers. It's kind of the things we don't want too much, but a little rain we can always, but maybe not so much right now. But hopefully it won't be. It doesn't look like it's going to anything that of the levels we were dealing with a week or so ago here. All right, it is 7:20. Let's go ahead and get you into Roswell Livestock Report recap. Quick commercial break. Then we're going to play our interview with Dara Dana talking about the Daughters of the American Revolution and their Veterans Day dedication. That's up next. Don't go away.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooden at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 2,367 head of cattle sold on Monday on the steady to higher market with excellent buyer attendance. 3 to 400 pound steers, $340, $370. 3 to 400 pound heifers, $295, $315. 4 to 500 pound steers, $315, $340. 4 to 500 pound heifers, $258, $295. 5 to 600 pound steers, $273, $315. 5 to 600 pound heifers, $225, $258. 6 700 pound steers, $244, $273. 6 to 700 pound heifers, $220, $225. 7 800 pound steers, $224, $244. 7 800 pound heifers, $205, $220. Packer cows, $117, $122. Canner and cutter cows, $108, $115. Packer bulls, $145, $152. Feeder bulls, $125, $135. The cow-calf pairs not well tested. Top half the bred cows, $1,800 to $2,400 per head. We do appreciate the business, and we'll talk to you next Monday morning. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Attention, Roswell and surrounding areas. Roswell Ford knows recovering from an unexpected natural disaster is stressful, and our hearts go out to everyone who experienced loss due to the flooding. The damage left behind is devastating, but we're already seeing what it means to be Roswell strong, and we acknowledge and appreciate the heroic efforts of local authorities, first responders, and National Guard rescue teams. We've already received and continue to receive special shipments of new Fords and quality pre-owned vehicles available for immediate delivery during our massive Super Tent Sale. It's at our temporary location on West 2nd Street between Toyota and Allsup's. These new and pre-owned vehicles without flood damage are being offered to the public at unprecedented savings. We've instructed our staff to take any car in any condition. In fact, even if it doesn't run, we'll come get it and give you a generous allowance toward a new Ford or high-quality pre-owned vehicle. And we'll work with your insurance company to help you get what you deserve at Roswell Ford's temporary location on West 2nd Street between Toyota and Allsup's. Thank you.
Are you ready to succeed? At ENMU Roswell, they cater to your educational needs. Their dedicated facilities and faculties provide you with an exceptional learning experience. From academic programs to behavioral sciences, business, health education, or technical education, ENMU Roswell offers a wide variety of certifications and degree programs designed to take your education and experience to the next level. Register now on campus or online at roswell.enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Success starts here.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The first toilet being flushed in a motion picture was in the movie Psycho. Mike thought it was Gone with the Wind. Here's Mike Winters.
Officially. And good morning. It is 29 minutes after 9 o'clock, and now officially in studio this morning, County Commissioner and daughter of the American Revolution, Dara Dana, with us this morning. Good morning, Dara.
Yes, good morning. Good morning. Yeah, all sorts of fun stuff going on.
It's been
busy. I'll wear my county commission hat for just a moment. Bill Williams, our county manager, has been, texting us updates.
We had a good conversation with him yesterday.
I heard it, and I'm glad you ran it again.
Yeah, I figured there's a lot of good info here.
There was a lot of good info, and people need to know. You might not see, you might not hear, but know. Even some of our people that work with the county had issues in their own homes and stuff.
Absolutely.
They were still out working.
They're out doing roads. Meantime, their house is flooded.
Our road department, I let them know that Cherokee, my road, was flooded. Could we please close it off? They didn't even get to my road. So what's nice about having neighbors, helping neighbors, is we got our tractors out. We moved the debris. So there wasn't any issues with that. But, people...
That's county folk. Work needs to get done, get done.
That's what... And it's so nice having such great neighbors because
absolutely.
We were like, I said, I called the county, but they're busy.
And that's how we get through this.
So
folks.
the guys,
this is how we do it.
My neighbor said, I'll go get my tractor. We'll start working on it. And we at least got my T-post out of the way and my barbed wire from my fence off the road. And then... kind of move some of the debris and stuff. And then they went over with their truck just to make sure they could go through it. Because we have a lot of silage trucks and a lot of ag trucks that, that go through there.
Yeah, something with a lot more weight.
Well, we wanted to make sure that if somebody went through, that it was getting to the point to where it was good.
Sure. Yeah, it's not going
to
wash out or collapse on them or whatever.
Well, yeah, and two, seeing a vehicle floating down, it's like, we don't want any incidents out here. So
I think people realize the power of water this week.
I did not realize the power of water.
I mean, we see the Weather Channel footage, but when it's in your own front porch or backyard, it's different.
It is very different. It's very different because I have never heard a roar like that in my entire life.
Yeah.
And I was just freaking out. Even when the dogs freak out, it's bad because they're like, what is that? We like water, but not that much water.
Right. This is too much of a good thing here.
And then my friend, John Thosen, who used to work for Game and Fish, he's like, are you okay? I said, yeah, we've got water and everything. He said, Dara, I hate to tell you this, but snakes, watch out for snakes. Because
you have enough to worry about.
He knows. I get like Indiana Jones. You can just say snakes, and I go, ugh.
I guess snakes on the plane, not on your list of movies to
watch. He goes, okay, you're going to have to watch out. And then somebody else says, okay, skunks, all the skunks dens, so we've had skunks out there. So now
I'm not too worried about skunks. I mean, they stink. But
but I'm just like, oh, great.
They've been killed by skunks.
I'm trying to walk and look and don't go out there, dogs. I'm screaming at the dogs. They're looking at me like, what? So it's like, all the critters. Yep. It's
got to keep
each stage. You have the initial stage, and then you've got this stage. So it'll be ongoing for
When's
quite
the locust
some time.
coming?
That's what my daughter said. What next? I said, stop saying what next.
Right. Don't jinx it.
Do not do that.
But it's funny. And that's something that's kind of just off air. Like every time people guests come in, and almost to a person was like, haven't we had enough of this stuff? It's like, with Riadosa on the heels of that, it's all kind of blended together in our heads because it's all one community, and so it's kind of, it just seems like a lot to handle, even though technically it's two different areas.
It is, and we couldn't imagine what they went through, and now we're going through. And what's kind of neat is having Riadosa go through what they go through, and they're kind of teaching us.
Sure.
This is what happened to us. This is what we found out.
Sure, we do have
what works, what doesn't work, and so having them come down and kind of help us and walk through.
Does kind of give us a good chart or a map to follow,
because there was a lot of what not to do in Riadosa.
There absolutely was, and
and that's the thing. You got to make sure. We talk about.
And I know you're kind of like, but to be honest, we kind of handled it till big boys came in and started messing with things.
Right. Exactly. And, that's what's kind of nice about us. We've had things happen here, and we've had the big boys come in, and we've told them,
we got this.
This is our turf.
Yeah.
We'll tell you what we need.
Yeah, exactly.
And, okay, good. We understand. Yeah, we have a great relationship.
That's good. And that's how... Because that way we can put them to the most effective instead of them just coming in and double working or doing work that or doing something maybe not less effective than we already had it.
Right.
So, but anyway, that's what we're going through right now. And all I can say is there's going to be more and more coming and more things to stay abreast. That list we were talking about earlier, it's linked on our page, the Health Council's page. You can find it anywhere.
Right.
Please, that is probably our best tool right now to get the resources or get your need of resources out to
and have patience, like we saw in Riadosa, people were kind of griping about the trash and all that. It impacted the landfill. So you've got to have some patience with if they don't come take your trash,
these
or
are
they don't
minor
get the
inconveniences right now.
grappler trucks out. You gotta have some patience.
Absolutely. That's logistics. It's no different.
It is.
The school stuff we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
Yeah. The schools for the most part aren't too bad, but if we can't get kids in the buildings, then what good is it?
And two, you might have to drive your kids to school. What a concept.
That might be something we have to figure out.
If you
And I don't
maybe get with the parents.
And these are
say,
private bus companies, so I don't know if that works. Like does the governor send down a bunch of buses? I don't know how that works.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. You know, if you have to drive your kids to school for a little while instead of doing the virtual, maybe that's what we need to do is kind of get back to the way it was.
But that's what the school district's dealing with right now. And they're balancing it. So whatever decision they come with, this is what they're dealing with.
This is what they're having to do, and they're trying to do the best things that they can.
Absolutely.
Every government agency, every law enforcement, they're trying to do the best that they can.
So I get it. We're all frustrated. We all feel like we don't have answers. We're all looking for those answers, but we're all a little patience, and we will all get this. Trust me, it'll. You know, right now the biggest needs are: do you have a place to stay tonight? Do you have have food? Do you have clothing? Do you have those needs? And that's what we're still triaging. The insurance claims and all that stuff. Yeah. We'll get there. It's gonna and more aid, more of that will come. But right now we got immediate, food, shelter, health, and safety issues we got to deal with, and those are top priorities.
And two, just we had a housing shortage before, and now we're really going to have a housing shortage. Sure. So,
and unfortunately, for some of these folks, the ones that are completely they were probably in a hardship before Saturday night.
Right.
And now it just tipped them over the edge.
Right.
So we've got it.
And that's another thing too is maybe you have a rental place that you can maybe let out and stuff. I know it costs people. That was one thing. Being on the housing committee is, hey,
and we're dealing with some of those issues.
I have to pay $2,000 for this house. Yeah. I'm not going to rent it to you for $700, But at this point in time, maybe subsidies can come that way. Maybe some of this emergency help can come that way.
Let's figure out.
The solutions and let's help it. Don't let a house sit vacant just because you don't think you can get the rent.
We have too many resources available that no one should go without. If we don't,
it's just trying to find, and that's what we found out when we started working on the mental health issue was we have resources.
We just got to find them and dig them and tap into it.
They're siloed, and people don't know about it. So,
and that's that's the big thing is tapping in and stuff. And, and this is something to the credit of the county, yourself and the other commissioners and the staff. That's something you guys have always been good at is, hey, is there a thing here? Is this something, how can we get the most bang for our buck?
Yes.
And not, and that's something the county commission history of long, before you guys were on it and the ones before you and the ones that I'm assuming come after you are going to be doing that. And so, and so you as a person also need to be and then tap into that. The county and the city both. They have lots of different things that can help you, and they can help you directly. There are so many. Call 211. There are so many. That's tapping into everything. 211 right now is probably your best one-stop shop for everything right now. If you're in need and not maybe you have multiple needs, 211's probably your best place to turn whether you need it or if you want to offer.
Right.
Because and I know Carrie's just running around with a chicken with her head cut off right now, but she's that's what they're doing. So please reach out to and any support you can give them. If you can offer your services, they got a list for like handyman services.
Yes.
They have that list. If you want to volunteer to do that and have the means and the ability, please, especially if you're a skill set, the carpenters, electricians, plumbers, all your trades individuals, those skills are needed in many, many different ways.
Right. And it is. It's going to be ongoing. And then here we go. We've got Reno Air Races coming next September. So
I've seen some of their Facebook. They're kind of praying, doing, but I'm sure they're asking questions right now, saying, "Hey, are we going to be good for?"
Exactly. Do we have the capacity? I mean, we were working on capacity before, but here we go.
The good news is the Air Center opened up yesterday.
Yes,
so that's a good
I
sign.
saw that. That's wonderful.
So I'm guessing.
But where do we put these people? Are they still going to be displaced? We saw how long the Rio Doce people were displaced.
Hopefully by May, when they start rolling in for their licenses, we're back.
And here we go. It's economic development for the whole state.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've got, if we can build more motels, if we can build more RV centers, if we can have more carpenters, electricians, plumbers, come to Roswell, help us rebuild, and
there's a lot of money to be made here.
There is a lot of money. Yes,
in that
in all capacities.
Absolutely.
I mean, look at Rio Doce. We had people from all over the state going up there helping them rebuild. You guys, this is a great place to live.
Absolutely.
If you come from out of town or out of state, why don't you make your home here and we can put you to work?
Absolutely.
We've got a lot of stuff going on. It's going to be rebuilding and building
Absolutely.
with the Reno Air Races
Absolutely.
coming in.
And it's kind of, and to be honest, we're going to grow and together in that. And
We
who
are.
knows?
We
I
are.
imagine, this could be, if things work out and all this stuff, I'm population cruises numbers and things like
Yes.
that. I mean, that could be our future for Southeast. maybe Roswell
Southeastern
or
New
Southeast
Mexico.
for sure. Yeah.
We've talked with Hobbs, Eddy
Yeah.
County, Lincoln County, Curry County, Portales. We are talking with everybody in the region. It's not just Chaves County. It is everybody in this region is going to benefit from
And what
this.
I'm hoping is once they kind of get here and get settled, they're gonna even like it more and put more roots down.
I told them from the
Put
very
more roots down.
beginning.
Yeah.
I told them from the very beginning when I met with the first. I was fortunate enough to represent Chaves County,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, you guys, this is a great place to live, and you can. And one guy said, yeah, we're kind of looking at it. One of the board members lives in Mora.
Okay.
He bought a ranch in Mora.
Oh, nice.
And he said, I've never been there. I don't know what the climate is. I said, well, you'll like it until the first snow. But you'll like it.
Sure.
It's beautiful up there. You'll like it.
Of course, they're from Reno area. They get extremes up there, too.
Yes,
So, yeah.
and he loves it. He loves it. So, yeah, we have others that I've said.
But I'm kind of thinking like they're going to,
Let me
they'll take
know.
up more space out there and they got more permanent,
Right.
year-round facilities out there. That would be,
Yes.
and once that happens, then the
you
sky's
just
the limit.
you have to get the first few to come in and go, we tested the
telling
waters
you.
and it's okay.
What you see in
so to
Albuquerque every
say.
October with Bloom Fiesta, that's what we're about to have
Right.
with Reno Air Race.
I went in 2013. I never even knew about the Reno Air Races, and my husband did. He watched it on TV, and his brother said, let's go. So we did. We drove. Ugh. Oh, that was fun. It's wonderful from here to Las Vegas. We
Yeah.
stayed in Las Vegas, and I asked the little gal at the hotel, how long is it to Reno? And she goes, it's only about an hour. Oh, my God. It's 2 lanes.
It's the longest hour of your life.
55 miles an hour.
It's like going to Tatum.
And, it's not as fast as Tatum.
Okay, worse, huh?
They have all these little ghost towns, and you slow down to 25, and then you get back up, and it's windy. And I was sitting in the back seat going, are we ever going to get there? Oh, yeah, we got this many miles. By the time I got there, I went, that was not an hour. It was 2 hours. And it's so slow. I mean, having 2 lanes. I tell everybody, we got 4 lanes coming in
That's
here.
why they had to get Telly Savalas doing all that hawking for him.
It was crazy.
Players Club. Anyway.
But we enjoyed it. We really enjoyed it.
Good.
We got pit passes. You get to see all.
I'm
and
excited to see what it's
really
about, yeah.
cute because all of the planes have a theme. And they all have, it's a big ta-da. It's all roped off, and you walk and you see the planes, and they have memorabilia out. They have, it's
Their
just
trophies and hardware and all that stuff.
But it's a theme. They wear the
Gotcha.
theme,
Okay.
and they have my husband liked the little P-38 precious metals.
Okay, I get you.
And so his is all decked out. You can buy hats, you can buy T-shirts,
This is a bit of a nerdy reference, but if you ever watch BattleBots,
yes, we made one
yeah,
time.
did you?
My husband had to make
and so
one
like they'll have
time.
one that's like called Witch Doctor, and
Yes.
they all dress up like the witch doctors.
That's
and the
how
theme.
it
It's
is.
kinda,
They're all themed.
Yeah.
And so you get to go in the pits and stuff, and then they shut everything down, and then it's race time.
Gotcha.
And it is. I was just standing there with my mouth open going, and Randy's going, what's the matter? I said, this is so cool. It's like, I've been to NASCAR races.
Yeah.
But this is NASCAR in the sky.
Yeah.
And
I
they
can't
come
wait.
around, and you're just like, and the crowds, if you get fortunate enough and you pay for it, you sit up front.
In the grandstands there, yeah.
And that's a thing too. It's party,
Okay.
Some
like
had
Kentucky
Hawaiian,
Derby kind of thing? Yeah.
Some had Hawaiian tiki torches, and
Nice.
I'm sitting there going, why aren't we there? And Raina
Yeah.
goes, you don't want to know how much those cost.
Yeah, I was like, you gotta be rich.
But it is. It's a big, nice party, and It's a party atmosphere.
Cool. So that'll be in September. March, when they come in May, that's just all the pilots getting their licenses.
Pilots, yeah.
So there won't be as much pageantry.
And trying to figure out the lay of our land.
Exactly.
Now,
but
Reno
September,
is kind of, I was really surprised. Reno's kind of like us, but they're going to have to get to know our winds. There's a lot of stuff.
And again, they're racing. It's not like they're flying a commercial plane.
They are racing.
I mean, I'm not saying they're not wingtip to wingtip, but they're not far from it sometimes.
Almost.
It's pretty intense. Yeah.
We got there early because we took the shuttle out because they said you don't want to park.
So,
and I was in awe.
They're just not putting around. They're hauling butts.
4
They got to know the
days
course
there.
back
It was
and forth.
cool.
It's got to be muscle memory for those guys because I'm sure it's all about timing. And
Yeah,
at
you
this
don't
mark, you hit the stick this
wanna-
way. It's all about getting the muscle memory and getting that and creating the pattern, and that's what they're establishing. And getting the feel
cool.
from it. Yeah.
I enjoyed it. But
Yeah. We probably should talk some what the whole reason of what today was about. But
and that's another thing. A lot of stuff is going on, but we just wanted to make sure that people knew that yes, we do have a great chapter here, Daughters of the American Revolution.
And for folks that aren't familiar, explain because it's a big deal. This is a lineage thing. This is something that's.
My mother got involved in it years ago when she retired from the credit union, and she started looking into genealogy. And her mother was a DAR. And so she started looking up, and she really got into genealogy. So she became DAR.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that hard. All you're doing is finding out, tracing your genealogy back to an American Revolution soldier who fought. And so she traced hers back and went in on her mother's. I went in on my mom's now. And I got involved in 1995 with the Roswell chapter. Okay. And I've been regent. I'm regent now. I've been regent twice now.
So did you have an inkling, or did you just say, I don't know, let me see if I got one? Or did you?
When my mom got in and she started talking about it, and then she started showing me what.
Okay. Well, yeah, your mom was in, so you already kind of knew, yeah.
And so that's what I told my daughters is this is history. This is our family history. This is history of our nation.
Sure.
This goes back from the very
tracing
beginning.
Back the lineage, yeah.
And it's so much easier now. Back then, you had to go to courthouses. You had to
before
go
the internet,
before the internet. So I tell people it's not as daunting of a task as you think it is.
And to be honest, we have a pretty good genealogical society here in town.
We do. And Wilson Cobb, Wilson Cobb started. DAR helped a lot with getting Wilson Cobb started. So you would be surprised. We have Hispanics that have traced back.
Awesome.
We have African Americans that trace back. Even
so it's all
slaves.
Cultures and
slaves.
That is so.
Fought.
Again, it's another reminder. It's like everything's not so what you think it is.
We found out that Indians here in the state of New Mexico, there was a fund. There was a revolution fund, and if you gave $1, you were considered an American Revolution soldier, patriot, whatever. So we have Indians right here in the state of New Mexico that contributed. We had one of our DAR ladies find out about this.
That her ancestor was.
And she has a big poster that shows some of them were recorded.
That's cool.
They went to Santa Fe. They recorded their little $1 that they gave towards the American Revolution fund, and some of them were not recorded.
You know what?
So once you start tracing, and once you start going into, that's why I tell everybody, go into a museum.
But it's so cool.
Go into a library. Go
those
into,
records are preserved. Like think about it, this is 1700. This is a long time ago.
Yes, it is, and we need to preserve it. That's why I'm so passionate about our DAR is preserving that history. Because it's not, everybody says, oh, it's back. No, it covers
and growing up back in
everywhere.
DC, that's how I knew about it. And then when you said, I was like, wow, I haven't really, thought about them in years just because I didn't think there was much of it. But yeah, we got 4 chapters in New Mexico?
We have more than that.
More than that, okay.
Yeah. The 4 chapters that went in, this is a project that our President General in DC came up with to celebrate our semi-quincentennial 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And that'll be on July 4th, 2026.
Okay.
So leading up we have different programs, different things that we can do.
So this is kind of the build-up to the 26th, basically.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So one of them was, hey, can we, get a marker and celebrate our first patriots, our first veterans? And so El Portal out of Clovis, the Roswell chapter, the Sierra Blanca chapter, and the Thomas Jefferson chapter out of Carlsbad decided, okay, let's go in.
Okay.
I said, hey, we have our little memorials that we have on the courthouse lawn. Our gal Paula from Sierra Blanca came over, and she was wonderful. She said, okay, I'm visual. I said, I'm visual too. So she had a marker, a piece of material that was the size of the marker. So we walked around with this material on the courthouse lawn. Where do we put it? Well, right there on I'd never noticed this before either. There is a nice little marker that the Garden Club from many years ago did for Blue Star Star families.
Yeah.
And it's right there. So we put that there.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's on
Veterans
the ground.
Day, I spend a lot of time standing around there.
It is. It's on. Yeah, you probably tripped over it like I almost did. So we put that right beside it, and we said, well, this is perfect. We'll have this for the Blue Star, and we'll have ours. So it'll be in concrete.
So it'll kind of flow with the whole
And
theme
so
there.
I approached Bill Williams and said, hey, can we do this? I want permission to, and he said, yes, it fits in with our theme.
I love it.
And
the fact that it's a physical beacon that DAR is here. You know,
exactly.
Because I think there's a lot of people like me. It's like, oh, dang, I didn't realize we had that.
Right.
You know?
And that's what's kind of nice too, is we will have tables with information on DAR.
Sure.
We
Who
will
knows?
have
Get a few more ladies to check out and see if they qualify.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, we want to make sure everybody knows about our first patriots, but we also want them to know, preserve the history.
Absolutely. And then once one in the family finds out, then technically the rest are.
It is.
Hey, guess what? We're all related.
Right. And my husband, when he went back to Ohio with the Dana family, a lot of the Dana family is SAR, Sons of the American Revolution, and we do have a chapter.
Oh, excellent!
Here,
so fellas, if you want to get involved, I'm sure they'd love to hear from you too.
Yeah. It's really kind of interesting. I mean, we all. And I'm big on veterans because my dad was Army. He was a Korean War veteran. And so it's like this is one way we can help preserve our history, but also honor our veterans.
Absolutely. Remember those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice for what we enjoy.
This is our first veterans, our first patriots.
Absolutely. These are the veteran. Yeah, the first American veteran.
Right. Yep. Exactly. So that'll be on Monday, Veterans Day, November 11th at 1 p.m. on the Chaves County Courthouse lawn.
And just, I know we're running out of time, but
it will be rain, shine.
Rain, sleet,
we'll
or snow.
We'll be out there. Because somebody said, where can we go? And I said, nowhere. We're going to have to be here no matter what.
Yeah.
Because
it's important.
It is important.
Yeah. But we would love to have folks come out, be a part of the ceremony.
The public.
Yeah, it's free.
It's free.
It's gonna happen right there about 1 o'clock on the courthouse lawn in front of the.
We're inviting all of our veterans organizations too. We'll have the New Mexico Military Institute Choir singing the anthem.
So there will be a little entertainment to go along with it.
Yeah. We're just trying to do a little ta-da.
Sure.
To help. Thank our veterans, but also to remember them with this plaque.
It's been so busy lately. Maybe a way to step away from all this.
That's what I thought. Sometimes, like you said, if you go take a cup of coffee or a candy bar or cookies, and say, sit down for just a moment. Yeah. Let's take a breath. I had to have my moment. I had my moment on my tractor.
Yeah.
I broke down and said, what am I going to do? And I started the tractor up and said, you're going to scrape this. You can't. I'm not a tractor person. I have a tractor, but you should have seen me out there. I even sent a picture to my son-in-law and said, look what Mom did.
Yeah.
And he goes, you go, girl.
Well, and to be honest, times like this also create the greatness in you.
Yes.
A little bit.
It does.
It forces you.
Pull up your britches and you go, let's get her done.
And when you get through it, you're a better human.
Yes.
And that's life. And we all got to go through it. I know, especially parents, you want to protect your kids, but sometimes you gotta go through the fire to understand and come out on the other side stronger.
Right.
And guess what? We're in one of those moments, folks.
But this is, things still happen. Like I said, Veterans Day is still going to be a celebration. We're still going to do it. Monday, November the 11th. That is Veterans Day at 1 p.m.
Yeah, the
on
veteran stuff will
Chaves
be
County.
Saturday, and then the
Well,
DAR
that's
will
why
be on Monday.
when we
so.
started doing this, they asked me, do you want to do it on Saturday? I said, no, I do not want to interfere with all the other celebrations.
And to be honest,
I wanted to make sure that,
yeah,
you know.
I'd also go the other way, where is, yes, veterans important, but this in of itself needs its own spotlight. I don't want it to get lost in the sea of veterans.
Right.
Because I think it needs its own platform as well.
Right.
So
we just thought, we'll do it on Monday, November the 11th at 1 p.m. on the Chaves County Courthouse lawn. Like I said, anybody. You don't have to be DAR. You don't have to be a veteran.
But even if you're interested or thinking if you qualify, maybe you're thinking,
celebrate.
Maybe I do. Maybe I need to do some work.
You would be surprised at how many people said that.
Sure.
And then when we started, like I said, with 23andMe and all those other places, you can find out stuff in a New York Minute.
Absolutely.
Before, it was all done by hand.
And
that's why I tell everybody.
But we all know, like, have the family member said, your great so-and-so did so-and-so, and you hear those stories.
He was General, and we're like, wow, that's really cool.
So, you know what? But let's go do the check, and maybe there is something.
It's really interesting. It's really fun when you start going through, and that's why I tell everybody, a marriage license wasn't a license back in the day. It was a historic record. It was a marriage. It was something that you filed with the Chaves County, courthouse. You went back there. We still have a lot of those down there because that's our history. It was a recorded piece of history. Mary Smith married John Jones on this day. Oh, okay. Now I know. My great-great-great-great-grandmother married, so we know that. So we have that history, that family history. So it's like, when government gets involved, that's when things tank.
Yeah.
Because, we can get a fee for that when you go down there.
How can we spend this?
How can we make money off of you?
Boy, or whatever.
So, that's why I tell everybody, when you start looking at those marriage license or those marriage certificates and those death certificates, and you see, it's a big, beautiful, on parchment, it's very ornate, and it says all of the really cool stuff on it. I mean, I just
but it's even neat
sit there and go,
to this day,
so cool.
hundreds of years later, that's probably the only thing that really shows they existed still.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes,
that
it does.
That they were here.
It does. Yes,
that's the one proof that they're still
and your
here.
wills.
Yeah,
I was really surprised. My mother even found wills from back in the day, and that'd be a history of your family itself.
I would just read the details of the will just to see what kind of stuff people were.
I was too. I was sitting there going, "Oh, well, so and so gets this."
What was
value
back?
It was very detailed.
Sure.
Johnny gets this, and this was from, and I'm like,
well,
wow.
I just wonder if you see a lot of like livestock and things.
Yes.
It's like I bequeath the horse to them. Or,
you did. I had, there was all sorts of stuff in there.
That's kind of interesting. To me, that would be interesting.
Well, and that's why I like watching Finding Your Roots on PBS.
Oh, yeah,
I kind of fell into that. And they do go back. And I love to watch the people's faces when they go, really? I didn't know that. And it's like, yeah, honey.
Yeah. You always find there's always one in the tree that
there
was,
always
right.
is, yeah.
That one was the one that the rest of the neighborhood didn't like.
Well, that's why great grandpa didn't talk about that. Yeah, you're right. But yes, please join us. Daughters of the American Revolution. We invite everybody on Monday, November the 11th at 1 p.m.
Yeah, Veterans Day here on the courthouse lawn.
On the courthouse lawn. It's going to be wonderful and reflecting and just a special time. And this is for everybody.
Celebrating all we have, and this is the roots of it.
Yes, and preserving our history, because I'm a history buff, and I tell my daughters, and they roll their eyes, even as old as they are, and it's like, one day you will understand why Mom is so passionate about this, because this is where we come from.
I wish there was some way you could, like, as the wisdom you get older, like shoot it down to an 18-year-old or something.
My kids say that all the time. They now are starting to tell me, now we understand, Mom. Now we, and we get it now. And it's like,
I wish there was just
the light bulb
some way we could do that. But till that happens, we stumble along till we figure it out ourselves.
yes, exactly.
Well, as always, thank you, Dara.
Thank you.
Anything commission-wide, whatever we can do, let me know.
Thank you.
Reach
Thank
out.
you for having
we'll
Bill and
out.
Alex on. They're a wealth of information. Thank you to everybody that's been out there. Please reach out.
Absolutely.
No question is a dumb question. Hey, I have debris. Where do I do? What do I do with it? Hey, I need this or that. But I know people want to volunteer and do stuff like that. Funnel through the Chaves County Health. Let's coordinate.
Let's do it so we're all not doing too much or double
or
doing.
Going in.
That's how things get missed. So if we get it all on one page, everyone's the same.
And you get, like I said,
we're
need
rowing
to.
The boat in the same direction.
They're vetting people. They know who the real volunteers are. They know who the real people are. So please,
we're trying to do everything we can to
protect.
Yeah, to protect
help.
and not let the unsavory types penetrate.
Yes, because they will take advantage. I was with Red Cross and I saw it many, many times. So
it's pretty sickening, but it happens.
It does. But thank you again.
Anytime,
I appreciate this.
And
this is fun.
We're glad you did. You got through okay. And
I did.
And
I'm still, I get on my tractor a few hours a day and still scraping and still moving and going to have my septic tank. I'm going to get on the list for rotation of getting my septic tank looked at, but the dogs are muddy and happy. So.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
That's all that matters. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Dara. We'll see you next time. All right, we got to go. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Have an amazing day. Stay safe. Keep digging. We'll get through this together.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The city of Roswell is continuing to work to clear debris from last weekend's massive flooding. The city said Thursday that people should keep vehicles off the road in flooded areas and do not place large items in trash containers. Instead, just place the items along the curb at the street, not in the alleyway. Also, materials placed out for curbside pickup must not have any overhead obstructions and have a clear radius of 8 inches around them. You'll pay more for traffic citations in Carlsbad. This week, the Carlsbad City Council voted unanimously 7-0 to increase fines by $40 for 14 various traffic offenses. Ward 2 Councilor J.J. Chavez was absent from the meeting Tuesday night, so he did not vote. 5 cases of E. coli are now confirmed in New Mexico, with 1 death after a food safety alert was tied to McDonald's Quarter Pounders. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure overhead for now, so we'll stay clear for the overnight hours. A little windy and our low in the mid-50s, and then very gusty wind coming up on Tuesday. We have a fairly strong low pressure developing over the Four Corners area. That'll kick the wind up to about 40 miles an hour tomorrow. Watch out for some blowing dust. We will have sunshine, our high in the mid-80s. Cooler on Wednesday, 70 and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Got some football going on over the weekend. Undefeated Dexter tonight playing their final regular season game. There are 9-0 overall. The Demons 5-0 in District 2 and taking on Hatch Valley. The Chili Peppers are 5-3. 2-2 overall. I know they're the Bears. NMMI playing at Hot Springs tonight at 7 o'clock. NMMI is 6-2 overall, 3-1 in district play. They do have another game at the following this week, unlike Dexter. Roswell playing tomorrow at Mayfield. This might be a good game. Roswell is riding high after beating Artesia on the road last week, 44-40. The Coyotes 6-1 overall, 4-1 in district. Gateway Christian 8-man football playing at Hagerman. The regular season finale, the Warriors are 5-2 overall, 3-2 in district play. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Artesia General Hospital has welcomed cardiologist Luther Weathers to the team. Dr. Weathers is board certified with a subspecialty in cardiovascular diseases. He treats patients with genetic heart defects, heart rhythm disorders, heart failure, coronary artery disease, chronic high blood pressure, and other cardiovascular diseases. Call 575-736-8270 to schedule your visit with Dr. Weathers in Artesia or visit artesiageneral.com/cardio appointment. Se habla español.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you could call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Hugh Hewitt is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The FBI is investigating after outdoor ballot drop boxes were torched in Washington State and Oregon, and some votes were lost.
Elections officials are reaching out to voters whose ballots may have been damaged in recent fires that were deliberately set. In Vancouver, Washington,
a call in the early morning hours to 911 indicating that there was smoking and a fire at one of our ballot boxes.
Interim Police Chief Troy Price on K2TV says some 300 ballots were destroyed, similar to a fire that destroyed 3 ballots in Portland, Oregon. Police say that they believe it's the work of the same person, and they've identified a car that appears to have been involved. I'm Jackie Quinn.
Donald Trump and Kamala Harris heading down the home stretch to Election Day. Mr. Trump at a rally in Georgia.
Next Tuesday, you have to stand up and you have to tell Kamala Harris that you've had a terrible, terrible run, that you've hurt our country very badly. You've let murderers into our country and drug dealers. You've let human traffickers in. You've let terrorists into our country. You've accepted people from mental institutions and from jails.
Harris tells a Michigan audience that when it comes to a college degree,
that's not the only qualification for a qualified worker. You got to look at the skills, you got to look at the experience.
And Harris says if she's elected, she would review which federal job should be exempt from a degree requirement. Ukrainian officials say Russian drones, missiles, and bombs hit Kiev and Kharkiv, Ukraine's biggest cities, in nighttime attacks. 4 people killed, at least 15 injured. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 88 points, the NASDAQ up 9. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
The Israeli parliament has passed bills banning the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees from operating in Israel and the Palestinian territories. The BBC's Yolande Nell in Jerusalem.
Israeli officials accuse UNRWA of being complicit with Hamas and cite the involvement of a handful of its thousands of staff in the 7th of October attacks. The agency insists it's impartial. Israel has long objected to UNRWA, arguing that its existence perpetuates the status of millions of Palestinians as refugees. Their fate remains a core issue in the decades-old Israel-Palestinian conflict. And, responding to the new laws, the UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres insisted that UNRWA is indispensable.
German prosecutors say 3 men have been charged in a case involving an alleged plot to attack a Jewish target in western Germany. 2 of the suspects allegedly planned an attack in either Heidelberg or Mannheim. News and analysis at townhall.com. Puerto Rican pride and the island's faltering storm recovery have become a flashpoint in the presidential race.
A comedian's comments warming up the crowd at Donald Trump's campaign rally at Madison Square Garden drew a strong reaction from some Puerto Ricans, including recording artist Bad Bunny, stand-up comedian Tony Hinchcliffe.
A floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah, I think it's called Puerto Rico.
Later, Hinchcliffe said Latinos, they love making babies. Within minutes, Puerto Rican singer Bad Bunny signaled his support for Kamala Harris, sharing her plan for the island with his 45 1.5 million followers on Instagram.
Puerto Rico's economic future depends on urgently rebuilding.
Musicians Ricky Martin and Despacito artist Louis Fonsi also posted they were offended by the comment. I'm Jennifer King.
Longtime Donald Trump ally Steve Bannon has been released from prison this morning. 4 months he'd served for defying a congressional January 6 subpoena. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce
of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yes.
Did you have a mind thought there?
I did.
I saw this one. Usually just kind of, you pointed at something, and then he put his fingers to his temples like
no,
like he was willing something into existence.
Hold on.
What was going on there?
Hold on.
that
I have
intrigued
to see. Okay, no, I'll try to find out by next hour.
Okay, that intrigued me.
I have a thing that I found out over the weekend.
Okay.
That could rock the foundation of this morning show.
Wow.
All right.
A bold statement.
Yeah, it is.
Now I'm very curious.
So this is, I mean, it's of vital importance that I get this right.
Okay.
So I need to make sure, and I have to. I'm hoping
there
that
must be a sequel movie or something coming
out.
No.
I'm hoping that this will my text will be returned within the hour.
Okay.
Because I found out some information over the weekend.
Yes.
That as previously mentioned, and not to be hyperbolic or anything.
But you don't.
Could absolutely rock the foundation of this morning show.
Wow.
Not of your morning show, but of this iteration of the morning show.
Okay.
Okay?
Now I'm
All
really
right.
confused.
Yep. That's what I do. I deliver generalities.
Man, that was muddy.
Yeah, it's complicated. You'll understand when all is revealed. You will understand.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Is it food related?
No, it's not.
I'm like, it's got to be movies, food, or something. I'm a simple man. I mean,
here's the thing. It's something that I was blown away by, and I wrote it down.
Okay.
But then by the end of the gathering,
yeah,
I said, "Oh, I don't need these papers anymore." Throw away, and I'm like, and then I just literally, as we started hour number 2, the deuce, it occurred to me.
But that was the moment of the mind. Okay.
Boom.
Of course, all our younger folks would be like, "Why don't you just put it in your phone?"
No, that's the problem. That's the problem. The phone lies. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. Abraham Lincoln said it.
That's right. You take that to the bank.
Uh-huh.
But happy Tuesday.
Yes.
I know we got squirreled on that
Yeah,
moment
sorry,
there.
sidetrack.
But happy Tuesday, everybody.
All will become clearer in the third hour, I really hope.
I got to ask you a question.
Okay.
Because especially with the Quarter Pounder not being available right now. Have you had the Chicken Big Mac?
Now, I wasn't aware that the Quarter Pounder wasn't available.
Well, I haven't looked today, but as of a couple days ago it was.
Okay, now is this because of the...
Yeah, because of the whole onion thing, yeah.
They could just take the onions off the burger, right?
From what I understand is no. They said that it's by the book. It's got to be this. If it ain't this, then we ain't doing it.
So does this affect? This affects the slivered onions,
Correct.
not the diced onions,
Correct.
not the.
Yeah.
Now pull back of the curtain, and I know they don't like me doing this, but you know what? They don't. Not a sponsor. So the onions that you get on your regular everyday cheeseburger, those diced onions,
different ones.
They're what we in the business used to call recon.
Okay.
It's reconstituted onion.
Okay.
It's freeze dried, and it's
okay. Those aren't
it's
impacted.
taken care. Yeah. So apparently those probably from an older batch of.
Well,
of-
and from what I understand is it's all traced back to one farm, and it's actually bigger than McDonald's. Like I think other fast food chains have pulled items off their menus temporarily as well because of this. But that being said, have you tried that chicken Big Mac?
I haven't, honestly. I don't think I'm going to.
I have. And I will say this. It is not better than the Big Mac.
Okay, now it is 2 all chicken patties. It's everything else is the same. Special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles,
It's a
onions.
Big Mac, except the patty's been replaced with the chicken patty. And I'm pretty sure it's the one that you get if you get the McCrispy, the lower chicken sandwich, the
McChicken.
Yeah, the McChicken. That's what it's called. Not the fancy.
The crispy chicken is the fancy, or the McCrispy.
Yeah,
that's
the hot and
fancy
spicy one, but not spicy.
Right. Yeah, just the McChicken.
Yeah, and so they use those as the chicken patty.
Okay, not a bad choice. I mean, honestly, that's about the same size as the beef patty, although thicker.
Yeah, it's good. I like it's messier because the chicken patty's a little stiffer. So when you squeeze the bite, it shoots the
sauce,
the secret sauce and lettuce combo all kind of out more than the Big Mac does. But I like it. It's tasty. I'll eat them. But I will say this: I don't think the ingredients that go on a Big Mac serve chicken. It serves the burger better. Like the secret sauce and the lettuce.
Cheese in general. Like chicken and cheese is kind of a tough sell.
I don't mind chicken and cheese, but with chicken you need to. I don't know. I think it would work best with more mustardy things or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something. Or bacon.
Right.
And so it's good.
Chicken. You know what? Honestly, if they took the mac sauce off and replaced it with like a ranch, that might actually be pretty freaking good.
Yeah, I would like a honey mustard.
Ooh, a nice honey mustard. There you go. I
Or
like
that hot mustard, maybe.
There you go. Not too shabby. Now we're bistroing up the
now I'm
chicken
thinking
Big
I'm
Mac.
just going to get 2 of the McChickens.
No, but I
make my own.
I gotta say, and I know we're coming up on the end of the spooky season, so I got to get it at least one more time before they take it away from me. If you haven't yet, you need to try the Witch's Brew.
Okay.
It's from Sonic.
Okay.
It is. Oh, you know what? You wouldn't like it. No. Those out there.
Okay.
Need to
Yeah.
try
Tell
it. You
people
won't
because
like
I'm
it.
weird. Tell people.
It's a combination of their vanilla ice cream.
Okay.
And a apple slush.
Okay.
Okay. Mixed in with that is a caramel sauce essentially in the ice cream to make it like a caramel apple. And this is where you're out. There's these little balls in it. And they're called like bursting balls or something like that.
Yep.
But they have this like caramel flavor. And so you're enjoying this thing through a boba straw.
Now.
And these little bursts of caramel.
Okay. Because if this is more shake like, I can deal. Like if it's a shake with like things in it, I'm okay with that. But if it's a drink like through a straw with solid things in it, I'm out.
Yeah, it's
So is it more thin?
They're not solid. They're like
Is it like a shake?
Bubbles.
Okay.
It's like
I mean the consistency of the beverage.
It turns into a shake essentially.
Okay.
Once you mix things together.
Like if I used a spoon on it, it wouldn't be weird.
No. They actually give you both.
Okay.
Strong
Then
spoon.
I'm probably okay with that.
Okay.
It's
All right.
when you have something that's a straw, you drink, and then that's when I'm, or if I'm drinking a thing of juice and there's hunks of things in the juice, that's, I'm out. I think Tom is here. I think so. I think our guest is here. Excellent.
Absolutely.
Very good. So I don't want to evoke sense memories of various beverages with things in it.
I was there.
That one on air was that one.
That was an amazing moment.
I was like, oh my! We almost had an on boot incident.
I've always been a fan of the idea of chewing a beverage.
It's just I don't know what it is. Maybe it's my military days. It's just not.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. When you have like a not properly mixed chocolate protein drink or whatever.
You know what it really is? It's beer. Like when I was in Germany and there was literally stuff in the beer. That's kind of soured me on.
They do weird stuff with beer.
Hot beer with things floating in it was kind of gross.
Well, that's when you got to drink through your teeth, man.
Yeah, that's the problem. Ain't got none.
Grit and take it.
All right, Tom with Game Day Roswell is going to join us here in just a few minutes. Give us an update on all the stuff he's got new and planned happening there. Of course, it is probably the best, a hot time for sports. Some would argue best time, but, debatable. So we'll get an update from Tom here. And then later on this hour, we'll get you up to date with news and all that good stuff. Before we do any of that, though, let's take a gander at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure overhead for now, so we'll stay clear for the overnight hours. A little windy and our low in the mid-50s, and then very gusty wind coming up on Tuesday. We have a fairly strong low pressure developing over the Four Corners area. That'll kick the wind up to about 40 miles an hour tomorrow. Watch out for some blowing dust. We will have sunshine, our high in the mid-80s. Cooler on Wednesday, 70 and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 59 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 54% with winds out of the south at 17 miles per hour. It's going to be windy today. They're talking, expect some patchy blowing dust this afternoon. Sunny and 85. I guess that's the good news. It'll be warm. Winds will be blowing out of the south 15 to 20 early, increasing 25 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour later today. Clear tonight with an overnight low 52. Winds will remain breezy out of the southwest, 15 to 25 miles per hour. I think when they say clear, they mean clouds. There might be dust with all this, especially like yesterday when we didn't get at that. It was just a little breeze, but it was kicking up the dust downtown, especially here. It was kind of that brown haze all downtown yesterday. So we're probably going to get a bunch more of that, more widespread today. Let's see. For your Wednesday, sunny tomorrow and cooler with all these winds. We're going to have cooler temps. Northwest winds at around 15 miles per hour. Clear tomorrow night. Overnight low of 37. I said it. Dips into the 30s for an overnight low. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny, highs near 70. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10. 44 for an overnight low Thursday night. And then Friday, sunny with a high of 72. And then beginning Friday night, we're looking at some rain chances, a 40% chance of showers. Friday night, mostly cloudy, 55 for an overnight low. 20% on Saturday, mainly early before noon, mostly sunny and 77 for a high. And then looks like Sunday, partly cloudy, 74, and then slight chances of rain Sunday night and Monday as well. All right, it is 17 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take a quick minute break. And then Tom with Game Day Roswell is going to join us on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you could call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Artesia General Hospital has welcomed cardiologist Luther Weathers to the team. Dr. Weathers is board certified with a subspecialty in cardiovascular diseases. He treats patients with genetic heart defects, heart rhythm disorders, heart failure, coronary artery disease, chronic high blood pressure, and other cardiovascular diseases. Call 575-736-8270 to schedule your visit with Dr. Weathers in Artesia or visit artesiageneral.com/cardio appointment. Se habla español.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Game Day Roswell, Tom. Oh, I think I always say it, Kimmerl, right? Kimberly. There we go. I just call him Tom. That way I less chance of botching it. Good morning, Tom. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Mike. How are you?
Doing good. Of course, Tom is, Game Day Roswell, Uncle Sud's Laundry right there.
Right next
That's
to each other.
all part of Tom's business here. So if you could kind of kill two birds if you want and get some laundry done, go have kick back and have a beverage and watch a game or play a game, watch a game or play a game.
There you go. Yep. We got both going on.
Yeah. So Howard, first off, before we talk stuff, how did flooding and all that, how's the business there? Everything?
We
kosher
dodged the bullet. Even though Sunset was a lake, it got clear up to the doors.
Okay.
And it stopped.
Well,
and
that's a good place to stop.
So I stayed dry, but
okay,
boy howdy, that going up north on Sunset and then to the west, it was just a wreck.
I imagine the laundry side's probably been doing double time now with a lot of people washing.
We've been extremely busy. Yeah. I mean, that's some nasty stuff trying to get clean.
Which, by the way, especially if you got bedding, things that large, he's got the machines that can handle that kind of stuff. You especially if you got like these king size comforters. Some of the washers and dryers you have at the house, they're not.
No, they're not
can't
made
handle
for
them
that.
big boys. So bring them on down to Uncle Sud's, and that way you won't ruin your washer or dryer
There
trying
you go.
to get that done.
We'll help you out. We always have full-time staff to help you out too.
Absolutely. And plus, if you got large quantities, towels and stuff, those are huge capacity. So
sure,
you're not going to spend all day doing laundry.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Yeah, we can get you in and out in an hour and a half.
Absolutely. And then, of course, while you wait, come on over and maybe have a snack and kick back and play a video game or watch a game on the tube or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, talk a bit about Game Day Roswell side. I know that's kind of been, it's almost been evolving a little bit over the last couple of years as you get more and more different things coming in. And so it's just kind of turned into just a little hangout, really, just a place to hang out and kick back with friends or, going to kick back and just unwind a little bit. It's just a place to hang out.
It's growing every week. It's a private club, very affordable. It's $25 a year for adults.
Yeah.
Children, they come in free under your umbrella.
Nice.
But we've been just growing every week, and it's just a pretty cool place to hang out.
Yeah.
We are in the process of putting in a card system, so the door will stay locked. You have to have a card to get in,
kind of like a gym membership card.
Exactly.
Kind of thing. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So it keeps us safe. So when 8, 9 o'clock at night, if the door opens, we know it's a member.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. That's and of course that also helps, with safety and other sides and things, and keep an eye on people and things like that too.
Yeah.
Just making sure. And which, again, it's kind of that, membership has its privileges kind of thing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then, of course, as part of your membership there too, it really, like if you love arcade games, things like that, it's a full arcade. If you love your sports games, things like that, it's a sports bar. So it's kind of, like I said, it's got a little bit of everything for everybody.
Yeah, we do. We do.
So whatever, so if you're in the mood for whatever, come out, Saturdays, college, you can spend the day watching college games, kick back, maybe have a pool tournament or a air hockey tournament or something while that's going on. Come back for Sunday for NFL, or of course, if you want to get away for Thursday night or Monday night games or World Series going on, you want to catch, I don't know how much more is going to be left of it here, the way this one's going, but
it's not pretty if you're a Yankees fan.
Of course, they're coming back home now, so there'll be some rally hopes there.
Yeah, there could be.
But I don't know. You might want to get there early. This might end earlier. This might not go 7.
I'm thinking no, but you never know.
But it is sports. I mean,
that's true.
Pull back the curtain. Washington fan. Tom is a Bears fan, and you all saw that game on Sunday. That was a wild one.
It was brutal. It was brutal, but
any given game, man, it
any given Sunday. Yep.
Yeah. And all I could say is, as far as that game goes, both teams are just fine. You know what I mean? Both teams are heading in the right direction. What I really think is going on in Washington is something special right now. I think this is all the planets aligned, and you're seeing one of these Disney movie moments where it's all just. You know what I mean? Like, it's just happening.
Not only are they playing good, I was really impressed with those uniforms.
Yeah, the black ones are sharp.
They
I like
look
those.
sharp.
Yeah. My only knock on them is they don't incorporate much burgundy,
right?
And that's a staple color of Washington.
Yeah. Now I heard they're going to bring back the Redskin name. Is that true?
Never. Unfortunately, everybody but the NFL wants that to happen. There's no way the NFL is going to let that name come back. It's pretty much said. The ownership group, they're pretty much saying, more than like now that the team's getting good, I don't even think they're going to change the name from Commanders. Like there was a stank on it from Snyder,
right?
And this is slowly eroding that stank real quick,
right? Yeah,
which will do
true.
it. Winning will do that.
Winning will do that.
So I don't think so. I don't. Would I like that? Yes, I would absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Because to me, it means so much more than that.
Well,
that
it's
is
history.
It's a place of honor. All of that imaging and logo and all of the stuff that was actually fostered by Native Americans. That's that logo, the Indian head, that was designed by a Native American chief.
Right.
And there's a whole it is a whole history behind that.
And they had no issue with it.
And to be honest, it was, and this is something that I always point out, but sure, you can look at that name as a derogatory term, but let me ask you this. If you went into a crowded mall or just a big public and just started yelling Redskins at the top of your lungs, they're going to be thinking about the football team. Yeah. They're not going to be thinking, you know what I mean? Why is that guy yelling about the football team in the middle of the thing? I don't think it carries the weight it did in the 1800s.
I agree 100%.
You know what I mean? It's no different than the Canucks in Vancouver.
Right.
Spoiler alert, Canuck is a derogatory term for a Canadian.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
And if we want to play this game, so is Yankee.
Yes, sir.
That's a derogatory term for an American.
Yep. Especially in the Northeast.
So we could play this game all, this all day. But anyway, sorry, we got to get back to you. I went down a rabbit hole. It happens here. So but this is something I know because you're a tinkerer. Because you tinker games and stuff. So you're always constantly tinkering and evolving. So what's your latest project? I know you've got a couple going on. Right?
Well, we've got a couple things going on. Number one, we are having a big Halloween party on November 1st.
Okay, on Friday.
Yeah,
Friday after.
It's going to be costumes, the whole 9 yards.
Sure.
Everybody's encouraged to bring finger food of some sort.
Okay. I got like a potluck party.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And we're all just going to hang out and have a good time.
Sure. So if you want to be a member, you can get in, pay your $25, and come have a party with us on Saturday.
We're even letting just the public.
Okay, so the public wants to come too. Maybe this is a good chance for you to see what Game Day Roswell has and what you get with your membership.
Yeah,
here.
they can check out
kind
the
of an
club.
open house kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
like it. So open house, come in costume, come and like I said, maybe bring some finger foods or light snacks kind of thing, stuff like that, and come check it out and come. Now I'm gonna say this: if you're a gamer, I would not come in a costume that encumbers your movement because there is things that you might get a little active with.
Yeah,
and like if you're in a box or something, that might be hard.
You're not going to be shooting pool in a box. No.
But you're perfectly lined up to watch the games. It'll be on that Friday night there. Might be, would that be a World Series night? I'm trying to do it in my head. I don't know if it is or not.
I don't know. I don't think that far ahead.
I don't either. I'm like, what's on tonight? I have no idea.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, come see. And of course, like, you do have your snack offerings and stuff for members too. So come in there and you do, nachos and, all kinds of stuff in there. I think taquitos and things.
Yeah.
Like that. It's kind of changes with the menu.
We go back and forth. We usually pick out one item for the day and make it. And we go from there.
All stuff that works well in bars,
exactly.
That kind of things that go well with beverages and games and sports and stuff.
Yep. Absolutely. Anything goes good with a beer.
Yeah. And I would even offer this. If you're, say, around our age and you want to expose, we'll say grandkids probably at this point, games of your era, you want to see what really Donkey Kong looked like. You want to see how that's the cool part is you got those vintage.
Let me tell you, those kids, they really have a lot of fun with those big games. They're used to gaming on their phones.
Sure. Yeah, tiny little screens.
So they go in there and see these monster games, and it takes a lot of eye-hand coordination.
Sure.
And they have a blast. And, it's still in the 1980s,
Sure.
25 cents a game.
And it probably makes sense, too, where some of those games they're playing on their phone, especially younger kids, are probably comparable, like graphics and skill level-wise.
Yeah.
The types of games like that. You're not playing big questing games on there. You're playing stuff like Pac-Man on there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it probably syncs up very well. We're like, oh, yeah, this is kind of...
Yeah.
Wait till they see when they made the shrink down. Remember those arcade games? It was basically Miss Pac-Man or Donkey Kong, but it was like a handheld version, but it was shaped like the arcade game. Remember
Right.
those?
Yes.
And it was like this tiny. They flip out. They saw one of those.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
But and you got and you do have a little bit more modern video games in there too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it kind of covers multi-generational there, and then, of course, even a few pinball and more mechanic games
Well,
than electric.
air hockey is a biggie.
Air hockey's because that everyone thinks they have a little skill, and then they realize they either do or don't. That's when you find out, because everyone thinks they're the best in their circle, and then you go to the other circle and they realize, oh man, I suck at this compared to this. And everyone has a strategy.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, whether it's stick back too close to the goal or be aggressive. It's
Yep.
there's a lot of strategy in air hockey, believe it or not. I
Yeah.
remember
And then the punching bag, that's a funny one.
Oh, I imagine.
They watch, those guys, they go at it, I'm stronger than you, I'm bigger, better, and, and they just beat the snot out of that thing, $1 a pop, and they'll sit there for Lord knows how long doing it.
Wow. Do you have to fix that one a lot, or is it pretty durable?
No, it is actually durable.
Okay.
It really
I figure
is.
after taking punches, after a while, it's going to get a little
no,
squirrely.
so far so good.
Good deal. So I'm guessing there's probably a technique to that.
Yeah, matter of fact, there was one guy that he was some kind of a bare knuckle champion.
Okay.
And he came in, and everybody, just tries to throw a straight
Sure,
right.
it's straight power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he turned to the side of it and actually threw a right hook. And he curled that machine up. I mean, his whole body twisted.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he generated a ton of power.
I think a lot of it's technique, and a lot of it's, you got to know where to hit it.
True. And I've seen people flat out miss it. It's pretty funny.
Well, and the more macho they go in with it, the more ridiculous it's going to be.
It's good for a laugh.
You're just setting the table for disaster right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, but, it's the quiet one you got to worry about.
That's exactly right. Those are the ones you got to watch.
It's like, this guy going to knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
But, yeah, come have fun. That's what it's like. Bring your friends, and you come, and that's what it's about. It's a hangout.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and we're busy with our league plays. We've got on Monday we've got Dart League.
Okay.
I
didn't even get to darts yet. Yeah.
Yeah, we got out of there last night about 11 o'clock. Had a good turnout, man. We were busy, and those guys, they know how to throw darts.
Yeah.
I tell you what, they're impressive. We got one guy on the league that's actually nationally rated.
Oh wow!
And then an old friend of mine back in the day, he was a 6-time state champion.
Oh wow!
And won the New Mexico Open, and so we got some talent in this town.
Yeah, I wonder if he just throws darts, or does he throw anything? If they kick butt and axe throwing too, or
no,
any of those
it's
kinds
strictly darts. I mean, those guys, it's a passion, it's an addiction.
I just didn't know if they're just naturally gifted at aiming and stuff. You know what I mean?
It's pretty much muscle memory with
darts.
darts.
I imagine it would be too.
But those guys can just sit there if they need 3 bullseyes to win out or whatever. They'll shoot 3 bulls, and just boom, boom, boom. And I tried it for the first time. I've never been a dart player.
Yeah.
I didn't even hit the board.
Yeah.
Seriously, I did not hit the board.
I imagine it's a lot like rifle shooting, where it's all in, you hold the breath. I imagine it's all the same. Like you said, that muscle memory. I imagine it's, there's some kind of...
It's a very trained eye, yeah.
So that they throw it the exact same way, the exact same time, the exact same amount of force or touch or whatever they got to do.
Yeah, and some of them, they do the same warm-up between each shot, and it's pretty cool to watch them.
Imagine it's like golf or any, where you just want that consistent swing. Consistent, same kind of deal. Quarterbacks, throw it consistent.
Absolutely,
yeah. Same kind of deal. Yeah, imagine. We just don't think of it in that term of a dart, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
And I imagine too, it's different with every dart because the weighting and how it's, there's a whole science to that too.
Well, yeah, there's a whole plethora of darts, and you find what works for you, and you just go with it.
Sure.
And then, of course, we got our billiard league.
Mm-hmm.
We got the big league on Tuesday night, and then we've got Scotch doubles on Wednesday.
Okay, and those are pretty popular, right? Billiards. There's a pretty big community of pool players.
Matter of fact, Roswell's got a world champion.
Yeah, that's true.
So
does he pop in time to time?
On occasion? Yeah. Matter of fact, I used to play pool with him back in the 70s.
Okay,
that's how far back we go.
Okay, cool.
And he's a heck of a.
Does he come and give the blessing of the pool table?
He comes in, and he's a very humble guy. He helps people.
If he gives you tips, take it.
He's very, very generous with his time when it comes to that, and he gives lessons. People try to pay him, and he won't take the money.
Sure.
He loves the sport.
Excellent. Did he make a career, a living out of that? I mean, not career, but did he make enough money as a world champion to live off that?
Well, professionally, that's not where the money was.
I know it was sponsorship.
The money was usually, in a bar.
Okay. I didn't know if they get sponsor deals for
they
or
can, but I don't think he took it that far.
Okay.
He just went, he in his flight or whatever it was, his final match, he beat some guy out of Germany.
Okay. I just figure when you get to that levels, people are just trying to throw money at you.
But it's pretty cool to watch. It's amazing how much everybody thinks you got to be a super good shot in pool, but the number one thing you need to know is defense.
That's true. Setting up, you're setting up so you're the guy. You're not letting the other guy get a good shot.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I knew, and that's I've watched. I'm not no billiards player by any stretch. I'm a whacker, but I've watched enough tournaments on TV to where they talk about exactly. It's like, see, look where he left the cue ball. He left it in a perfect spot to set him up for that next shot or take away his chance for his opponent. It's either about you creating your next shot, or if you don't have a next shot, which you kind of have to plan ahead, then you need to put in a place where your opponent doesn't have a shot.
It's a game of chess. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah, and so that's the difference between people that know how to play billiards versus people that just go to a bar and put a couple quarters on the sides and play for beer.
No, it's a lot of fun, and we do dart tournaments and billiard tournaments.
Excellent.
And so we stay pretty busy with that. We've got Friday night, we do karaoke. And that's growing every week.
Excellent.
I'm there. I'm the bartender, and so I get to listen to all this talent.
I was about to say, is there talent or do you need earmuffs? Because it could go either way with karaoke night.
We got the good, the bad, and the ugly, man.
It's true. It is a melting pot of singers usually at a karaoke night.
Yeah. So I just, I try to just stay distracted.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's the thing. Maybe you have an earmuff thing under the bar, and it'd be like, earmuffs are available upon request.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Hey, that might be marketable. That might be marketable.
Good. You never know.
No, but we have a good time. We've got just some good groups. We got a Friday afternoon club that comes in. It's a bunch of folks here in town that they've been friends for 50 years.
Kind of like their local meetup every week.
Exactly.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
They'll take up 3 or 4 tabletops.
Nice.
We'll put them all together, and of course, I'm not a great bartender yet. I'm learning. I'm a great beer slinger.
There you go.
But whiskey on the rocks I can do.
Sure. But if you start getting these long, convoluted names of drinks, you're like, all right, I gotta.
I can do a Chilton, and I can do a White Russian, and that's about it.
All right.
That's about it. But when they all come in at once, I got 18 of them.
Sure.
And I'm going, uh-oh. And Pat's in the kitchen. We always cook on Friday, and so she's cooking up whatever she decides for that day.
Right.
And Greg Segovia Sr., we had his birthday party last week. He just turned 90.
Oh, wow.
Full head of hair, not an ache or pain at all. He takes nothing. Nope.
Got
no
good
pills,
genes, huh?
Nothing. And I said, "What's your secret?" And he said, "Tequila."
He's preserved.
I guess he's pickled all the way through and through.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, good folks.
That's awesome. And that's really the vibe at game. It's just locals hanging out. It's just a place just to, probably, hang out with your friends, get the scuttlebutt on what's going on, kind of thing. Yeah, it really is just to hang out. Is really
it really is. It's clean. It's quiet. Yeah. It's safe.
Think of Cheers with pool tables and dart tables and video games and more TVs.
There you go. Yeah, you're right. It's the same atmosphere as Cheers, but you're right. We got billiards and TVs and stuff. So,
and of course, like you said, bring your group down or ask more about membership. Check it out this Friday. Come on to the Halloween party. Come in costume if you want, or you don't have to. I mean, no law.
Yeah, but we encourage it.
It'd be nice to do that, get in the spirit of things.
Yeah.
But come and come and play game or drinks. Now it's gonna be potluck that night. So if you'd like to bring a finger foods or snack items, no hearty hams or nothing.
Just something light,
little taquitos or whatever, poppers or whatever.
Yeah, finger food of some sort.
Like that.
Yeah, but
that would be great. What time is that on Friday? By the way?
That's going to start at 7:00.
7 p.m. So excellent, very good.
Yeah, I think 7 to 10, something
and
like that.
I'm going to take a guess, and probably one of them TVs will have the Coyote Goddard game on. So
we typically do. Yeah,
so you won't miss the football game.
No, we've had every TV game. Matter of fact, you and I kind of picked on you saying that the Bears were going to win, and then and I kept telling everybody in the club because I was watching it there, and I kept telling everybody because the game was not going well for the Bears almost the whole game.
Well, it was, there was a lot, and it was back and forth. There was, Washington, we're moving the ball, but they couldn't put it in the end zone.
Right. I mean, it was a game of field goals, and then I think we did a pick six or an interception, something.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got on the board, and then, I thought, man, we just might win ugly. And, I'm telling everybody in the club, I go, I'm going to be on the radio with Mike on Tuesday. And, one of us is going to be happy and the other one's not.
Yeah.
And you should have heard that place erupt on that last play.
It was nuts.
I don't get this, Mike. It's not a secret where they're going to throw that ball.
Right.
It's a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Blanket the play. And they left that guy unattended.
And I actually watched the analysts break Zapruder film, break this thing down and watch it. And yes, there is a lot of luck there.
Yeah.
But Washington set the table to create the luck.
Yeah.
And the plays leading up to it, and they actually
true.
They were like Noah was posted there by design. There was another guy Terry McLaurin was in the front, and then they had a couple pokers in the middle, Zach Ertz, and then all the Bears. So it just worked.
Yeah.
They actually it's either going to go forward or go backward. We got a guy at either end to catch it either way. So they were kind of planning it a little bit.
Kudos to your quarterback because he stalled around back there for a long time.
Yeah, he had to buy that time back
and
there.
And he did.
Yeah.
And then he just let it go. And
then people are complaining on holding calls. I was like, well, they were double teaming everybody, and I've never seen a holding call on a Hail Mary play ever.
No.
Unless they're all looking down the other end. They're not paying attention.
No, what an ending. And like I said, you guys deserve the win anyway. You guys really were the better team.
It was, and thank you. It was, don't thank me. I didn't do anything. I'm just watching the TV.
But it was a fun game. Especially toward the end, it was just nip and tuck.
Yeah.
So that made a good game out of it.
Well, and I got a feeling this could be the next Brady Manning, 10 years
those
of
two
that.
Quarterbacks, there's going to be a lot of life in those two.
I got a feeling this could be, the 90 or the modern version of Brady Manning. And,
it sure could.
It could be that. So,
for sure, yeah.
So I like what it's setting the table here, too. And, of course, but definitely I'm going to say C.J. Spiller, Caleb, and Jaden are the really this next generation, this new quarterback that can run, that can pass, that can do it all.
Right.
And I think we're going to see, like Mahomes, I think is kind of that first generation. These are the next evolution of that. You know what I mean? So, anyway, it's going to be exciting to watch.
Speaking of Mahomes, Chicago passed on him.
Sure, they're kicking themselves.
I'm thinking, really? Sometimes I wonder about Chicago's recruiting, but they've always been suspect in my mind anyway.
Well, and it's hard to Bears tradition football really just goes against the grain of modern football.
Oh, it is. It's
You know what I
smash
mean?
mouth football.
Yeah, it's gridiron, it's muddy, it's ugly, it's in your face, it's guys with no teeth. It's you know what I mean. That's Bears football.
Yeah,
and this ain't that league no more. And but at the same time, the Bears are struggling because they got to adapt. But at the same time, they don't want to lose who they are. They don't want to lose the fact that when you come to Soldier Field, you're going to get a punch in the face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's their mindset.
That's part of them.
Yeah.
You bet.
And it's no different. It's why Dallas is what Dallas is, because that's their image, and they're not going to change.
Yeah.
They're going to be Six Flags and an NFL football team. That's just how they're built.
Yep. That's true.
Lots of rides, but then they're going to be tired and ready to go home.
There you go. Yep.
Anyway, I got off track again.
Yeah,
but for folks to pay membership, just come on by, pretty much, right?
Yeah,
That's
just
really,
come on by.
Yeah, you don't have to get online or do a whole thing.
No,
come
we
on
don't.
in. And
We don't
say,
do the online thing.
Yeah,
Number one, I want everybody to check out the club.
Sure.
When you come in the first time, you're my guest. I want you to have a good time.
Yeah.
Just check it out and
sit down, have a
feel
drink.
the vibe.
And,
Yeah. And
kick
then
back and-
some people come in, they just love it immediately. They go, man, we had no idea about this place. And I said, well, I've done radio and newspaper and
It's not like I
Facebook
haven't, yeah.
and word of mouth.
Yeah.
But it's just growing. Believe it or not, we've got over 500 members already.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. You're going to have to get a bigger building.
Well, I got another 15,000 square feet, but
that's true. Yeah, you got some more room to tap into.
It needs
I
a
forget
roof,
about that.
and
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, I forgot. There is more space. Just
Yeah.
it needs some love.
Yeah, it needs a lot of love that
I imagine after storms and everything, there's probably a little more love than before, too.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
True.
That's the world we live in right now. So
yeah.
But please come check it out. Like, be honest, it's been a rough week. If you just need a place to unwind for a minute and get out of your head for a little bit,
Absolutely.
come on down and just kick back and maybe play a game or watch a game or just sit down and have a social conversation with some people ain't talking about.
Yeah, we all
life.
got together and we cried about the flood, and everybody was telling their own particular war story, and it was very frightful for a lot of people.
Sure.
Pat's daughter, she's right down the street at Hendricks and Sunset. She had 5 feet of water outside that house, 2.5 feet inside.
That's scary.
National Guard couldn't get to them. We couldn't get to them. Fire department couldn't get to them. They spent the night on top of a couch.
Oh, wow.
And it was 3 of them, and then they had some guests over with a little baby.
Oh.
Yeah. And so it was a long, long night. I think I finally went to bed at 5 a.m. And Pat was on the phone with them all night long, and it was pretty scary.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, and just so many people over there got tanked, man. It was just sad.
That's it. I mean, we know about kind of the stuff downtown. That kind of got a lot of the spotlight, but you go a lot of streets in a lot of neighborhoods downtown. I mean, you're seeing it now where you go out and, down the street and there's literally piles of debris, 10 feet high in front of each house.
It's amazing. And when I left, I finally kicked everybody out of the club about 6:30 that night. I mean, that rain, it was just...
So y'all need to get home. Y'all need to get to safety.
And I kept sticking my head out the front door, and all of a sudden, Sunset was a river, and it's coming up into my parking lot. And I said, you know what, guys? We got to go.
Yeah.
I said, something's not right here. And I grew up here.
Sure.
I've driven in every storm, no big deal.
You know
go
when it's
down
different.
Sunset, go up Union, and I get home. And I drove through hell to get home.
Yeah.
It took me, normally it's 20 minutes, took me an hour and 15 minutes.
And there was about 1,000 more stories just like that.
There
that
were so
night.
many
Yeah.
that were already stuck.
Yeah. I mean, those folks at the quinceañera, they were on the roof that night too, very similar to that family you're speaking of earlier.
Yeah. And
that was a lot of folks doing this stuff.
Had I known that it was that bad, I would have never driven in it. I would have just stayed there. I got a recliner in my office.
It's like I can hunker down.
Plenty of beer. I'm good.
Yeah.
I can
food, we're good
stay
to
there.
go.
Yeah, I got food and everything.
Yeah.
So, but no, I wanted to get home, and but I had no idea what I was driving into, and it was just a hot mess. When you get to Union and College, and I had water up to my window, and I drive an F-150.
Yeah. Well, you're seeing vehicles floating down the street at that point.
That's a lot of water. Yeah.
When you see and that's powerful, that water, when it can have that energy to move a 1-ton vehicle. Yes.
Well, there was a 40-foot box car. In the middle of Hendricks.
Yeah.
I don't know if it came from Stiles Field or where it came from, but
I was hearing reports of like a lot of people that were parked at the convention center.
Mhm.
They were finding their cars down by Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply.
Yes.
I was hearing that's where a lot of them ended up over that area.
yeah,
It was just
I know Dale over at Roswell Ford, and he had brand new cars that were down there.
kind of down in that area too.
Yeah.
I guess that's where the river was kind of pushing them to there.
He said
so.
he's still looking for vehicles.
I mean,
What a mess! man.
It's a we got hit.
Yeah.
But folks, if you need a little getaway from that, come on down to Game Day Roswell, right here on Sunset. What's the official address there?
911 South Sunset.
911 Sunset, right next door to Uncle Sud's Laundry there on Sunset. Come on down. And like I said, if you do need to get some laundry done, you got to get them comforters. You still got some, stuff that needs to be. He's got the machines. Don't try to do it in your home ones. Let his professional grade stuff handle it. That's what it's built for. So,
and if you don't have the time, we've got a drop-off service as well.
Yeah, so we can get that taken care of, and drop it off and come back later and get it because you got 7 other things to clean.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And then when you're ready to say, you know what, I've had a long day, I'm ready to kick back with a beer and a ball game or something. Come on down to Game Day Rob.
There you go.
Excellent. Tom, did we get it all?
I think we did.
Excellent. Well, thank you, sir. Thank goodness everything. You guys are doing well. We're glad to hear that, and kind of turned into a beacon of help for your people in your community, in your neighborhood there too. So
it's a good little hangout for that part of town.
That's right. Come to the place where everybody knows your name.
That's it. We're good people.
I'm stealing
hang out.
cheers now.
Yeah. There you go.
Thank you, Tom. We
Hey,
appreciate
thank you,
it.
Mike. Appreciate it.
Anytime. It is 8:51. Let's pause for news and your Chaves County sports update, and just a little bit of commercials to pay for lunch. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Sorello. The city of Roswell is continuing to work to clear debris from last weekend's massive flooding. The city said Thursday that people should keep vehicles off the road in flooded areas and do not place large items in trash containers. Instead, just place the items along the curb at the street, not in the alleyway. Also, materials placed out for curbside pickup must not have any overhead obstructions and have a clear radius of 8 inches around them. You'll pay more for traffic citations in Carlsbad. This week, the Carlsbad City Council voted unanimously 7-0 to increase fines by $40 for 14 various traffic offenses. Ward 2 Councilor J.J. Chavez was absent from the meeting Tuesday night, so he did not vote. 5 cases of E. coli are now confirmed in New Mexico, with 1 death after a food safety alert was tied to McDonald's Quarter Pounders. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Got some football going on over the weekend. Undefeated Dexter tonight playing their final regular season game. There are 9-0 overall. The Demons 5-0 in District 2 and taking on Hatch Valley. The Chili Peppers are 5-3. 2-2 overall. I know they're the Bears. NMMI playing at Hot Springs tonight at 7 o'clock. NMMI is 6-2 overall, 3-1 in district play. They do have another game at the following this week, unlike Dexter. Roswell playing tomorrow at Mayfield. This might be a good game. Roswell is riding high after beating Artesia on the road last week, 44-40. The Coyotes 6-1 overall, 4-1 in district. Gateway Christian 8-man football playing at Hagerman. The regular season finale, the Warriors are 5-2 overall, 3-2 in district play. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure overhead for now, so we'll stay clear for the overnight hours. A little windy and our low in the mid-50s, and then very gusty wind coming up on Tuesday. We have a fairly strong low pressure developing over the Four Corners area. That'll kick the wind up to about 40 miles an hour tomorrow. Watch out for some blowing dust. We will have sunshine, our high in the mid-80s. Cooler on Wednesday, 70 and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
Well, stocks had been up for 6 weeks in a row, but they stalled going into this new week. Nationwide investment research says it's natural after the kind of gain stocks have had for a period of sideways movement. The Nasdaq did hit a record high on Friday, and the total stock market average is still up about 20% for the year. The inflation and still high interest rates are the problems for stocks. So they went back to tech stocks. Nvidia, Meta, Amazon, and Microsoft rose. UGG's footwear maker Deckers Outdoor rose. Retailers are worried about the holiday shopping season, though. Only 1/3 of likely voters surveyed say that the economy is good. Some chain restaurants have closed hundreds of locations this year because people are pulling back on spending. Yet, consumer spending stocks rose on Friday. More homes are for sale, but home sales declined because of the prices and the mortgage rates. Boeing may sell off their space business with NASA. Spirit Airlines is selling off some planes and cutting some jobs. Chobani will open a new New York headquarters. I'm Joe Connolly with Business.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
This is
Greg Kelly here. Thousands of Americans are shielding their savings with gold. Contact the experts at Colonial Metals Group for a free 2024 gold guide that explains everything you need to know. Go to freegoldguide.com/Kelly. freegoldguide.com/Kelly. The number 800-655-5186. That's 800-655-5186 for your free gold guide and learn if you qualify for up to $7,500 in free silver right now.
Attention, Roswell and surrounding areas. Roswell Ford knows recovering from an unexpected natural disaster is stressful, and our hearts go out to everyone who experienced loss due to the flooding. The damage left behind is devastating, but we're already seeing what it means to be Roswell strong, and we acknowledge and appreciate the heroic efforts of local authorities, first responders, and National Guard rescue teams. We've already received and continue to receive special shipments of new Fords and quality pre-owned vehicles available for immediate delivery during our massive Super Tent sale. It's at our temporary location on West 2nd Street between Toyota and Allsup's. These new and pre-owned vehicles without flood damage are being offered to the public at unprecedented savings. We've instructed our staff to take any car in any condition. In fact, even if it doesn't run, we'll come get it and give you a generous allowance toward a new Ford or high-quality pre-owned vehicle. And we'll work with your insurance company to help you get what you deserve at Roswell Ford's temporary location on West 2nd Street between Toyota and Allsup's. Thank you.
Have you experienced the Valley Cafe yet? It's much more than lunch or dinner. It's an experience. Chef Anthony Noble is a nominated Chef of the Year and manager with a 4.9 out of 5 kitchen cleanliness rating and a 4.8 out of 5 most loved rating. It's time for you to experience the difference that so many others already have at the Valley Cafe. Visit for lunch or dinner at 801 West Brasher, the orange building across from Church on the Move in Roswell. And save the Valley Cafe in your contacts. 575-755-EATS. 575-755-3287. Don't forget, we can cater your event too, and a portion of our proceeds go to the Dream Center in Roswell.
There's nothing more magical than 80,000 cubic feet of hot air flying overhead, hearing the burners shoot propane and inflate the envelope of beautiful colors right before your eyes. Whether this is your family's lifelong tradition or you are new to Southeast New Mexico, make plans to join us for Balloons and Tunes at Eagle Draw Park at dawn on Saturday and Sunday morning, November 2nd and 3rd. Seeing the balloons is just the start, but join us to hear the tunes too. Artesia Chamber, Artesia Main Street, and Artesia Arts Council have partnered up to bring you a concert event Friday, November 1st that will surely get you in the mood for hot air balloons. Join us at the corner of 5th and Texas Street for Balloons, Bands, and Brews, where you'll enjoy food, New Mexico brews, and live music, including the Artesia High School Marching Band, playing along with our hot air balloon pilots. All events are weather permitting, and more information can be found at artesiachamber.com. Balloons and Tunes, November 2nd and 3rd in Artesia, New Mexico. Book hotels direct for the best rates. Ad paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Hey, this is Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing. Every storm chaser's worst nightmare. You know storm chasers, those out-of-town roofers that descend on neighborhoods after big storms. They come in, do a crummy job, then poof, They're gone forever. Well, a few years ago, our area had a hailstorm, and right on cue, storm chasers showed up. I was driving home from work one evening and saw one talking to an elderly lady on her porch. I said, "Not today, buddy." I did a U-turn, pulled in the driveway, and walked right up to them. I warned the woman who they were talking to, and I chased away the storm chaser. The woman's daughter called me later and said a storm chaser ripped them off a few years ago. She thanked me for stopping this one and chose Trustmark for her roof. Trustmark Roofing. Every storm chaser's nightmare. Every homeowner's champion. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring and roof gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF. Or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
At Martine's Capital Cafe, come in and enjoy a delicious variety for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Try our burritos, huevos rancheros, asado, chorizo, sausage, flantas, fajitas, chili rellenos, quesadillas, enchiladas, sopapillas, and don't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger and so much more. Everything is prepared with the finest and freshest ingredients. Martine's Capital Cafe. Quality, value, tradition, and the most delicious New Mexican food since 1989. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th Street in Roswell.
On air and online, this is Roswell's home for talk radio. KEND Roswell.
And we're closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News is up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. Do not go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. A longtime Trump ally is a free man this morning.
Steve Bannon has been released from federal prison in Danbury, Connecticut after serving a 4-month sentence on 2 counts of contempt of Congress. And just a week before the election is taking back the helm of War Room, his right-wing podcast. Reporting for prison back on July 1st, Bannon referred to himself as a political prisoner.
I'm proud of going to prison.
He left the facility before dawn and was greeted by his daughter. The New York Times reports that in an interview before his release, he said, "I'm not broken, I'm empowered," and predicted a bitter legal battle after Election Day. Asked if he thought it had been worth going to prison to not testify before Congress, he said 1,000%. I'm Jennifer King.
By one estimate, American consumers feeling quite a bit more confident as Election Day nears. The Conference Board's closely watched Consumer Confidence Index seen its biggest monthly gain since March of 2021. A big city newspaper, one of several not endorsing a presidential candidate this time around, has apparently lost some business.
According to a report by NPR, more than 200,000 people have canceled subscriptions to the Washington Post since the newspaper announced its decision last week not to endorse a candidate for president. The reported loss of subscriptions of that magnitude would be a blow to a news outlet that is already facing financial headwinds. The timing of the non-endorsement led critics to question whether Post owner and Amazon founder Jeff Bezos had been concerned about whether Republican Donald Trump might retaliate over Kamala Harris' endorsement if he were elected president. I'm Norman Hall.
Harris delivers her campaign's closing argument today on the grassy ellipse near the White House. Former President Trump to campaign in Pennsylvania. That includes a rally tonight in Allentown. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 10 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
The Pentagon says North Korea has sent 10,000 soldiers to Russia, and the troops are undergoing training before likely being dispatched to Ukraine.
It's not clear how they will be deployed, but it is interesting because on the Western side, Western allies, the US, have been wary of this war's footprint spreading. And Russia's strengthening relationship with North Korea does just that on the other side. What we're hearing from the Pentagon is that there will be no new restrictions announced on missiles it provides Ukraine, on what it hits inside Russia, and that includes, potentially, hypothetically, on North Korean soldiers.
The BBC's James Waterhouse. North Korea says its top diplomat is visiting Russia, another sign of their deepening ties. North Korea's official news agency says the delegation led by its foreign minister departed for Russia Monday, did not specify the purpose of the visit. News and analysis, townhall.com. North Carolina elections officials say voting preparations are running smoothly, even as the state struggles in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene.
After the first week of early voting, more than 2.3 million voters have cast their ballots in the state, a 30% turnout of registered voters with 8 days remaining until Election Day. While over 400 early voting sites are currently open, local boards of elections are also gearing up to open more than 2,600 Election Day polling stations statewide. The 25 counties in western North Carolina hardest hit by the hurricane will continue to receive additional support to ensure that polling stations are open. Bernie Bennett reporting.
Its value meals helped turn around McDonald's U.S. sales in the third quarter. The recovery could be hindered by an E. coli outbreak tied to Quarter Pounders. McDonald's says U.S. same-store sales rose 0.3% from July through September. Revenue also rose. It gained 3% to $6.87 billion. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The tabloid said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. You're visibly mad. This made you mad. Okay. Now I'm really curious what this... So apparently whatever the thing was, it's not the thing, and now he's upset it's not the thing. So what's the thing?
So on a whim...
This was from last hour, by the way.
On a whim, over the weekend, we were broadcasting live over at Roswell Honda. By the way, huge thank you to everybody that came out and made the event a success. The Charlie's Angels came out and did their thing. Raised some great money for the Chaves County Cancer Fund.
So this was for breast cancer awareness.
Yes, it was Paint Roswell Honda Pink. During said event, and I don't know why it's taken me this long to think to ask, I asked our own Ms. Claudia from our sister station, Fiero, 106.1 FM, 106.1. How would one say 3 winters in Spanish?
Oh, back to the Tres Inviernos.
And she hit me with a word I'd never heard before.
Oh.
And I'm like, what did you just say? Like it was like, and okay, I know it's not this.
Okay.
But it's something similar to it.
Okay.
It was like golondores or something like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you just like cussing like a sailor right now?
Well, no, I mean, from what I gathered, she said it's like if you're using it in a conversational form, it's like it was a different word.
Okay.
So I wrote it down.
All right.
I wrote it down on the copy points from my remote, and I didn't.
That's where
keep them.
It died on the vine.
And it kills me that I didn't keep them. But I asked her last hour. I said, "What is 3 winters in Spanish again?" And she sends me back 3 inviernos. I said, no, the other word you told me. I wrote it down, but I threw it away accidentally. I'm like, golondores or something. And she said, winter is invierno. I don't remember what I said. I'm sorry. You let me down, man.
Now I'm curious. Did you mishear her? Or
no, it was a whole conversation.
Yeah.
It was, man.
Like, was it winter's a proper name is different or
I
something
don't know.
versus winter's
because
the
here's
season?
the thing. I've looked it up at least a couple of times on Google and on like what I thought were reputable sources. And everything I saw was Tres Inviernos. It was like there's literally an album or a song called Tres Inviernos by some dude named like Casper or something. I don't know. But I'm like, well, that's definitive. But when I heard that on Saturday,
it just threw you for...
It sent one of those, like, you know how you like start a crack at the top of like a wall and you just slowly watch it.
That's what I was doing.
Down to the foundation of this iteration of your show.
Well, seems like you put some Bondo back in that crack. Back up.
I'm going to text VD. I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
I'm going to a second source.
Because I need to know if I've been doing it wrong. If I've been doing it wrong, I will admit I'm wrong.
And I'm wondering, and this is where I'm not, because like, is it like Spanish different than the Mexican or Puerto Rican Spanish?
And
or
this is,
like, do they all have different words for it? And maybe that's where the confusion lies? I don't know.
I think that's a lot of it, that there's like the Castilian Spanish versus like the conversational. But this is something I've run into a lot with spot translation into Spanish, and I'm sure you have too, is that when you have somebody come in, you're like, well, I ran this through Google Translate, they'll look at it and they'll laugh. And they'll say, that's not right, and they'll have to go back, and they're like, let me just do it.
Right.
Because what Google does is it gives you a literal translation of every word for word what you tell it to say.
Gotcha.
But it's not saying it conversationally the way that you would say it if I were talking to you.
So you sound like a weirdo talking to people if you say it that way.
Right.
It'd be like going, like you're saying, I'm going to go to the store. It's like the store I go today.
It's what I would imagine having a conversation with Sheldon is like.
Yeah.
From The Big Bang Theory. It's overly complicated. It takes way too long. So I think that was the problem. But when I was talking, because she also said it also could mean something else. And I don't remember what she said, like something about a warrior. I don't know. Half the time when somebody's telling me how they translate Spanish, they're like, well, it relates to the story that we all know from when we were growing up. I'm like,
I don't know that
all
story.
Right. It's almost like how, like this is going to be kind of a stretch, but you know how like a lot of people of my generation, maybe even yours, know the story of the 3 Billy Goats Gruff. That's one of those that we've just heard our whole lives. Never heard of it at all. It like blows their mind. What's this with that 3 Billy Goats Gruff? I'm not trying to make an accent or cast aspersions, but yeah. So they have a whole different set of like stories that they grew up reading, whereas like ours are like Aesop's fables and stuff.
Now that's got me thinking, because this is moons ago.
Yeah,
earlier life. There was a person that was just an ugly person. I'm not talking physically.
No, yeah.
But I mean, yes, part of that. No, not a handsome person, but also just emotionally, just a not a delight to be around type person.
Sure.
So my thing was, what bridge is missing its troll? And like, so that was like that was my whole mantra about that.
Sure.
So there might have been a group in that, there were some, they may have not known what I was talking about now.
That's true.
I feel a little sad about that.
That's true. They've never heard the story of the troll under the bridge.
That was like, some bridge is missing its troll. And that's the person that it's...
There's been a couple of those. But yeah, no, they have like a whole, and most of theirs, it's funny too, because like as I've talked to Hispanic people, growing up and stuff, most of their fables and fairy tales and stories are all basically like why kids shouldn't do stuff, because the monster will come out and eat your babies or whatever it happens to be. And that's why we wash our plates after we eat,
Yeah.
And that's why kids, that's why they're so scared. Because, we had ours, Hansel and Gretel, admittedly, Not the brightest tale ever. But
it's a dark one.
It's pretty dark. But if you spin it enough, it can be kind of delightful. Oh, they ran away from the witch and followed their trail of breadcrumbs home.
Yeah.
It can be delightful. However, a lot of those stories are like, well, there's those Oprah's going to come, or the La Llorona, and that's something that lives with them for life.
Yeah. And I got to be honest, like, when it comes to horror movies or those kind of things, like, ones that deal with children's nursery rhymes and that genre are way scarier to me.
That's true.
Than just some kind of slasher flick or something.
Have you ever seen Brothers Grimm?
Bits.
Yeah. And that's really all you need.
Bits. That was enough. Yeah. Yeah. I know of what you speak.
Now we've done a really good job of candy coating a lot of those, but Aesop's Fables or Grimm's Fairy Tales or any of those were dark.
Yeah. Those, to me, when they spin those always seem to be much more, I don't know, frightening films or frightening stories to me. And
don't even get me started on Ring Around the Rosy.
Kids in movies that are horror movies are always frightening. Doesn't matter what the kid is. I mean, think about it. You could argue.
Well, I'm flashing back to Haley Joel Osment, but even he was
creepy.
Kind of a creep. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can go back to Poltergeist. She was adorable but creepy.
All right.
Carrie Ann was creepy but adorable.
I don't know if anybody else in my generation was as creeped out by this, but one of the creepiest kid performances I ever saw was Macaulay Culkin in The Good Son. Did you ever see it?
I did see that movie.
That movie, man, gave me.
I feel like that came out shortly after the Home Alone. Like that was like the movie he wrote into after he got famous. Home Alone.
It was Home Alone, Home Alone 2, My Girl, and then
which was another depressing movie if I remember right. Yeah,
and then almost immediately, Good Son, and then The Page Master.
Oh, I don't remember Page Master.
Well, you wouldn't. It wasn't for you.
I was out on that one.
The Page Master was. It was again, and I had just gotten off seeing him in The Good Son, so I was like, Macaulay Culkin's kind of a creepy kid, but it was basically him entering like a unknown world inside the book. He ventures into the novel and discovers the whole world.
Right.
But it was a great movie. But
was that the point where he was really
hanging out with Michael Jackson a lot?
Having his home off camera issues. We'll go with that.
Yep. He was the new kid.
Yeah.
He was the new kid on the block. Pardon the pun.
Yeah, all that stuff.
But yeah, so that performance was woof. That let you know he's not just a kid actor. He's got some chops to him.
Yeah. Speaking of the Culkins, his brother
Kieran.
Yes. He's very good in that. What was the name of that show? The Inheritance, or that HBO show with the power.
It
just ended about a year or two ago. It was popular for the.
It's like right there. I could have said it, and then you started talking about it.
Sorry.
And that murky water, it went away, and not sedition, Succession.
I think you're right.
Yep, Succession.
Yeah, that one, show. Yeah, he's pretty good in that.
It's a roundabout. Yeah, Kieran Culkin. Yeah,
he's pretty good in that.
He's actually quite the actor.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, that's like the most I've seen him in anything. You know what I mean? Everything else is kind of bit roles in this, and this is a TV series that went on for 4 seasons or whatever it went on for.
I know we got to go because our guest is here, but I saw a commercial for a show last night that I am genuinely excited about. Okay, so for those of you who know me, they know, I love the show Scrubs. One of my favorite shows of all time. I use quotes from it in my daily life. So there's a new show coming out, I think it's in November, from the creators of Superstore. Did you ever watch that show?
Oh, is this the hospital one?
It's called St. Dennis Medical.
I've seen commercials for this.
This looks like a legitimate... Now, I know they're working on a reboot to Scrubs, but this looks like it has potential to be as good as a Scrubs. If they do it right and they put enough heart into it, which the commercial kind of showed it had heart.
And I don't know if the show's like the commercial, but if it's like the commercial, it kind of reminds me of a Christopher Guest documentary.
Maybe.
Where it's like they break the third wall talking to the camera. I'm really sad and depressed. You know what I mean? I feel like it's got that vibe.
I have to go and try to watch and see if they do, because that's one thing they never did in Scrubs. Scrubs was just a 3-camera sitcom, essentially, but to have those Parks and Recreation office style sit down. What do they call them? Talking heads.
Yeah. And so I think they got a lot going on.
All right, but I'm genuinely intrigued.
But that could be just because they filmed the commercial that way to try to get you to learn about the show.
True.
It may not be filmed that way, but I just kind of made me think that's what they're going to do based on the commercial. But anyway, we do have CASA to talk to this morning here.
Indeed.
So we're going to meet them and get an update from them. Before we do that, though, let's take a gander at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure overhead for now, so we'll stay clear for the overnight hours. A little windy and our low in the mid-50s, and then very gusty wind coming up on Tuesday. We have a fairly strong low pressure developing over the Four Corners area. That'll kick the wind up to about 40 miles an hour tomorrow. Watch out for some blowing dust. We will have sunshine, our high in the mid-80s. Cooler on Wednesday, 70 and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 64 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 46%. Winds are blowing. It says out of the south at 20. My trees are moving, but not that heavy. So, but yeah, it's going to be windy today. That's kind of the theme for today. Patchy blowing dust expected this afternoon. Sunny and a high of 85, but the winds will be blowing out of the southwest this morning, 15 to 20 miles per hour. As the day progresses, those winds will increase 25 to 30. Could see wind gusts as high as 40 miles per hour later today. For tonight, skies will be clear with an overnight low of 52 degrees. Winds will remain breezy out of the southwest, 15 to 25 miles per hour. Bringing in cooler temps for your Wednesday and the rest of the week. Sunny and a high of only 71 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the northwest at around 15 miles per hour. Clear tonight, looking at an overnight low of 37 degrees with northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny. Highs expected to hit 70, so near 70. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. Looking at Thursday night, clear skies, overnight low of 44. Friday, sunny and 72 are expected high, and then rain chances enter the forecast. We're looking at a 40% chance at rain Friday night, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 55. A 20% chance of rain Saturday early. They're talking mainly before noon, but mostly sunny for the day, 77 for a high. Sunday, partly cloudy and 74, and then we've got a slight chance of rain Sunday night, and then a slight chance of rain Monday as well with a high of 69 degrees. All right, it is 9:21. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we will talk with Casa on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender love and care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack. In fact, they're downright funky. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 632-2660.
There's nothing more magical than 80,000 cubic feet of hot air flying overhead, hearing the burners shoot propane and inflate the envelope of beautiful colors right before your eyes. Whether this is your family's lifelong tradition or you are new to Southeast New Mexico, make plans to join us for Balloons and Tunes at Eagle Draw Park at dawn on Saturday and Sunday morning, November 2nd and 3rd. Seeing the balloons is just the start, but join us to hear the tunes too. Artesia Chamber, Artesia Main Street, and Artesia Arts Council have partnered up to bring you a concert event Friday, November 1st that will surely get you in the mood for hot air balloons. Join us at the corner of 5th and Texas Street for Balloons, Bands, and Brews, where you'll enjoy food, New Mexico brews, and live music, including the Artesia High School Marching Band, playing along with our hot air balloon pilots. All events are weather permitting, and more information can be found at artesiachamber.com. Balloons and Tunes, November 2nd and 3rd in Artesia, New Mexico. Book hotels direct for the best rates. Ad paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
You've heard of a Four Seasons room, but have you heard of a Four Seasons window? Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing and Windows. It might surprise you to learn many windows are built to handle only the cold or only the heat, but not both. In Southeast New Mexico, one or the other doesn't cut it. That's why Trustmark windows are built to handle our Four Seasons climate, the scorching summers, the bone-chilling winters, and everything in between. Special glass coating blocks extreme UV rays. A stout frame prevents warping from the extreme weather changes, and insulated glass is like putting your home in a giant styrofoam cooler in the winter and keeps cold out and warmth in. And in the summer, it keeps heat out and cool in. For our 4 seasons weather, get 4 Seasons windows. Call today for your no-obligation spring window assessment. 575-755-7663 or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Alaska is the only state name that can be typed on one row of keys. Go ahead and try typing the other 49 states. We'll wait. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, I guess, is CEO the official title?
Yes, sir.
There we go. I was going to say, but Carrie Lay Cloutier is joining us, CEO here for CASA Kids, which I just learned a few minutes ago is now the new official name for CASA.
Correct.
Most of us probably know us as CASA because, you know, it's been around a long time and been serving the community for, I don't know, as long as I can remember. And so, but it is now because really you guys cover so much more than what probably most people realize. So we kind of throw the kids in to say, this is kind of all things kids, what we do.
Right, and even more now, and especially with the floods. But we have more than 30 programs serving children and youth, young adults, flood victims, human trafficking victims of all kinds. And so we realized we needed to change our name just a little bit to show that we're more than our foundation program, which we are still incredibly proud of, our volunteers.
Yeah, and that, of course, is very much a part of CASA still.
Foundational for us, the passion.
That work will continue, and because it is really the best advocate for these kids when it comes to the courts and dealing with those kinds of issues.
And since COVID, things are worse than ever, and the system is more broken than ever. And we are so proud of our advocates who every day are creating miracles for kids. I mean, literally miracles for kids.
If you're looking for a place to volunteer, I'm not going to say it's an easy one. This one's tough.
It's the hardest I know.
It's going to run you through the emotional roller coaster on this, but the work you're doing to help these families, like I said, it's more than the kids. Help these families. You're doing a huge service for people here, and if you're looking to make a difference, look into maybe being a CASA volunteer. Now, they train you fully. This is, because you're dealing with some heavy stuff. But you are the voice for these kids in the courtroom. When the judges and need to get the information to make the best decisions possible for this child and this family, your information, what you're seeing, what you're doing is vital to help make the right choice for this family.
You are absolutely correct.
Yeah. Sorry, I know I've talked about this a time.
Yeah, no, you go. You're doing good. Keep going.
And I'm a windbag, so.
It's just so exciting to wake up on a Monday morning and go to work, even almost 40 years of this, and still get energized by the fact that I am going to be around these inspirational people who go so many miles in so many emotional ways, but literally save children's lives.
Absolutely.
I think of a child kept in a cage.
Yep.
And actually I can think of several, believe it or not, different children who have been kept captive, and the volunteers fight and fight and fight to make sure they're not returned to that situation, that they are loved and cherished and thriving.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine what these folks see sometimes because, let's face it, most of us wouldn't, you know what I mean? It's just that, to do that or to have that, it's hard to wrap your head around. And believe it or not, this is some of the stuff they're seeing. And so you're literally getting children out of some of the darkest situations.
So much really doesn't make the media, but I assure this community, anything you see on a crazy TV show out there is happening here.
Yeah.
It's real. It's very real.
You laugh, or I'm laughing, but you're absolutely true. I mean, you watch these Law and Orders and these shows, and you're just like, this is insane. Yeah, these writers are pulling these out of headlines of newspapers in towns like Roswell, New Mexico.
No, it's real. It's real.
It absolutely is. So, but here's the other part we want to say. That is one sliver of what CASA Kids does. There's so much more that you can get involved to that maybe you don't have that kind of fortitude to deal with that stuff. I get that. But there is so much other ways to serve it through CASA that benefits the kids. That's the more fun stuff. doing fun things with kids and the good parts of life and showing them being mentors in different ways, shape, or form. Really, that's what the rest of it's about.
Right. You know, we have so many youth programs, and these kids, they're my favorite. Can I say that out loud? They just are so hungry for a kind word. I remember doing an art project with one of them, and this will stick with me forever, where they said, I was like, oh my gosh, good job. This kid, 16-year-old boy, looked up at me, mouth open, and said, nobody's ever told me that before.
I imagine that blows you away when you hear that.
I will never forget that moment because it
with you.
shows you how empty his life was.
Mm-hmm.
These kids are so hungry for affirmation and acceptance and somebody who looks past the shell of who they are and into really their precious beings.
Mm-hmm. But it also, on the flip side of the coin, I think it's also a great lesson to you to say, the kind word, even if you think it's something trivial, isn't. You know what I mean?
Oh, my gosh.
A simple thank you can go a long way sometimes, and you don't realize the impact it might have sometimes.
These kids are treasures.
Yeah.
Just yesterday, of course, we have our courthouse dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And right now we have 8 active dogs
the
working at the Casa Dogs.
They're the celebrities of Casa.
They are. And beautiful Henry Sage, who's probably the most angelic of all our dogs. This boy is an angel. He likes to work in our alternative education program.
Okay.
And these are youth that just don't fit in the school system in a normal way.
Absolutely.
And this one kid now only does his schoolwork on the floor next to Henry. So forget the desk. Forget the comfy couch.
Yeah.
Every time I go in, he's there right on the floor with Henry, with his computer, with the teacher.
That's great.
School is now on the floor.
That's great.
To be with Henry, and the smile on this kid's face. And this is a smart kid.
That's great.
Oh my gosh, he's smart.
And then what message is rubbing off there is because he's associating the schoolwork with that positive experience as he ages and progresses and moves on to whatever facets of life he chooses in, he's going to associate that work with the good thing and associate, hey,
and this
doing
kid
this.
could go far. I
You know
mean,
what I
he
mean?
is
Yeah.
smart. So
I got a feeling he's going to have a
fun.
dog his whole life with him.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? No matter what path his life takes him.
I wish I
there's
could
a dog
show you
at
a
his side. I'm
picture.
just going to take
This
a hug.
is so sweet. And like Henry's lap on his lap while he's doing his schoolwork. I mean, it's just precious.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of animals. I mean, that's why I'm a pet lover and talk about. But that's the beauty of these dogs too. They have a place. They can make an impact in rooms or crack away armor that just nothing else can. Sometimes.
Absolutely.
And that's why these dogs are so valuable. Yeah, we joke about they're rock stars, but it's really because they can do work that nothing else can.
I knew when we started the program, gosh, it's probably 16 years ago now, that it was going to be a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know how good.
Yeah.
And it blows us away every day. It is now, we consider it a completely necessary part of what we do because the trauma reduction is so profound.
Absolutely. And just to kind of, as a compliment, I would even say, now, and I'm sure you guys are familiar with, the district attorney's office. They've got their DA dog
we
program.
love their dogs. We're all pals.
And they kind of work hand in hand here. But really, I think you look at things like what CASA's been doing, and I think programs like the DA say, hey, we're seeing the success they're having. Maybe we can use this
they jumped
for
right
helping
on.
with victims and things of their crimes and stuff like that. So it really, I to be honest, I think you need to write to every single legislator and say we need to be throwing as much money into these kinds of programs for mental health, for law enforcement, for prosecute, for all of the above, because I bet we can make some breakthroughs if we invest more money into therapy and training like this. You want to fix mental health, this is the kind of thing you invest
absolutely.
in. You can sue all you people and throw money to everybody you want to, but if you don't put it into things that aren't helping people, then what are we doing? So that's sorry, I got on the soapbox.
You keep on that soapbox. We're back here going, yeah. Casa Kids all year round is serving people in crisis.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you name it. Children who are raped, teenagers who are abducted, teenagers who are human trafficked, kids who are homeless, kids who are forced to live in the backyard, kids who are not fed.
It's
just
the extremes
crisis,
of abuse.
Extremes of abuse, kids who are now living at CYFD.
Yeah.
severely abused children who are now living in offices. I mean, so every day we work with kids in crisis and families in crisis, and we help foster parents. But now with the flood, I want the community to understand that when there are giant disasters, like a flood, a natural disaster, or COVID, those kinds of, child abuse rises as much as 30%.
Because everybody's on edge. Tempers are flaring.
People don't have money. They're sick. They're all the things.
The kid screws up something a little bit, it's going to be escalated to level 7. Just because
we
everyone's
see
amped up.
Extreme levels of violence towards children during these periods.
Yep.
So our team is ready. They're already serving these families, and our Children's Advocacy Center is ready to help interview and help prosecute cases where this happens, but also to help families get past it.
Sure.
So one of our new programs is a family resource center.
Okay.
We're very excited about it, and we just started it a couple months ago, but bam, there's a flood. So our family resource center team is at the ready helping these families so they don't get to these acute situations.
Take care of the immediate needs.
We have
place
everything
to sleep,
from resource referral to emotional support.
Okay.
But we also have some funding and some funding streams that can help flood victims.
Sure.
But not just flood victims, any family that's going through trouble.
Absolutely.
So I really invite families to come in. We're in the Sun West building over there. Downtown, right across from the courthouse, the big red and white building. But come in, first floor.
Yep.
And our team can really help you, whether in all ages. We are now helping there. One of the most acute areas of trouble in the flood are extremely elderly.
Gotcha. Yeah, because you again, we think of kids, CASA kids,
right.
but yes, if pretty much if you're in need right now, there's resources available through CASA Kids for everybody.
Through this program, we can help anybody.
Excellent.
And we're finding that the elderly are in places without handicapped access, without laundry access.
And if they were kind of shut in to begin with,
lonely and scared. And so we're putting a lot of effort into that right now. We also are part of multidisciplinary collaborative teams that are meeting actively. Last night we had a support group meeting that was really rich in resources.
Great.
And so we are able to get people tied to what they need. If it's spiritual help or therapy. I mean,
and especially
everything.
Where we live here in southeast New Mexico, let's face it, we're not New York City. There isn't the latest and greatest up the street here. You gotta pull resources and things, and that's why, to me, organizations like CASA Kids are much more valuable in a place like this, where we're more spread out, where resources are less plentiful or less within reach. You guys really bring the remote to the places like
this. And even more remote than Roswell. I mean, look how Midway and Dexter were hit so hard by this.
Guys,
So we're trying to figure out how to get to them because they can't get to us.
I've heard some real.
It's really bad.
Especially Midway area. I've heard some real like no one's even because. Granted, these are remote places to begin with, but when disaster hits, it's even worse now, and that's what we're dealing with. So, but really, and so CASA really, if volunteers are always needed, there's always something. If you want to get involved, whether it's through the court advocacy side or through some of the other mentorship programs and things here, please, that's a great way to get involved. Financially, donation-wise, is that something you guys can constantly use, or I'm sure anytime. I know, but
there's never enough
I know you have
money.
your annual fundraising.
Right.
We're coming up on that season actually here. But if people can you go to say the CASA Kids website, make a donation?
Yes, you can go there, just CASAkids.org.
Okay.
Also coming up is our Winter Wonderland event, which is, we're actually super excited about. It's going to be an amazing year.
Yeah.
It's always the Friday before Thanksgiving.
It's a Roswell tradition at this
point. I think we've done it over 20 years now. Yeah. It kind of kicks off the holiday season. $50 a person for incredible food and drink, thanks to Peppers and Pecos Flavors and Glazers and people who donate to us.
Yeah. The community really rallies around this.
The community knows the money that they give us goes straight to kids.
Yep, and it's
they
all
know
local
that
right
it's
here.
well spent, that our money is well taken care of, that the money is not foolish, and that every penny is accounted for in a really way that triples the meaning of that money.
It's kind of like it's the grassroots feel, but you guys have the muscle of the big boys a little bit, if that makes sense.
We're trying.
You know what I mean?
We're
Does that make
trying.
sense? You know,
Oh my gosh, when it's time to make that sausage, it's painful. But I tell you what, it is. There's not enough.
Yeah.
We have long waiting lists.
Sure.
We need more staff.
Yeah, there's never enough you can do.
And we need more help in the valley. And, we also serve Artesia. And what a pleasure to work down there. Oh, my gosh. They are the loveliest community. And their law enforcement is just dreamy. I mean, we love it working down there because there are the solutions for kids.
They're a close-knit town, you know.
They are. And so they're a lovely part of what we do.
Absolutely.
But of course they are here too. I
Absolutely.
can't speak highly enough of law enforcement here and the work that we do with them. This is a remarkable community. It really is remarkable.
Well, and we have this group of people, and it's just, and they deal in these sort of, some are law enforcement, some are on your side of things, some. And these to be honest, it's probably this core of, I don't know, 100, whatever it is, that number of people that you see everywhere. You know what I mean? And it's such a blessing to have those folks serve. And we would love to have, I mean, maybe not to the levels of some of these folks where they're literally in everything, but maybe get involved in one thing. You know anything? And I think Casa Kids is a good one that you can maybe find a place where you can serve and feel at the same time like you made a difference.
Well, there's so many ways to help us, too. Share our Facebook posts. Simple as that can really help us to recruit volunteers.
Sure.
If it's not a time for you to volunteer right now, donations are always welcome. But if you aren't in a place, I mean, even $5, I mean, seriously.
Every little bit helps.
Makes a difference. But if you're not in a position to do that, share it on social media. Tell your friends. Come to our events. But also, we can use donations of goods. Brand new clothing. We don't accept used clothing because our kids deserve the best.
Toys are always a good one because those are always
we're coming
needed.
up on the holidays, and we really work hard to give these kids of all ages.
I'm going to say, I know we all like to go buy our favorite Legos or whatever, but think of the kids that are a little past that and the ones that are a little too young for that, too. They need toys, too.
We never have enough for teenagers.
Yeah.
And we really make an effort to send incredible packages to kids who are living in facilities, like psychiatric facilities.
Sure.
Because what a horrible life.
They could use a few rays of sunshine. Yeah, absolutely.
And so we really work hard to make the holidays special. And this community's really great about that.
Well, and that's because it's, yes, talk religious to everything, but at the end of the day, those are family times. Those are those times when we all have those 9 times out of 10 when you have your beloved family memories from your childhood. How many times revolve around Christmas or Easter or 4th of July? Or you know what I mean? It's those family moments. And so that's what we want to do. Despite you're not in ideally of the family situation, we want to create positive experiences and positive memories for you.
Absolutely.
And that's what it's about. It's no different than like for domestic violence, the Grammy's house. Please help them during the holidays too.
I just love them down there.
Yeah, they do. They have kids in there too when some of those victims come to the home, and so don't forget them with toys and stuff too. But we're getting up on that season, and definitely Casa could use those toys for the kids. But like I said, I know we all love buying the toys like they kind of, but don't forget we have some 13,
Are you
14,
a Lego maniac?
15.
They're
not going to be into it. But, you're going to have some 15-year-olds that are not going to necessarily be into that. They're going to want something more
right.
digital
Gift certificates, sporting equipment, hygiene, like cool hygiene supplies, things like that are good for teenagers.
Let me ask this, because I'm not a girl. Is makeup still a thing?
Oh, honey, makeup is way a thing.
Is that acceptable?
You can all
gift for a 14-year-old girl? I don't know.
Makeup kits are great for our teenage girls.
Okay,
they
good.
love
I was
it.
just wondering.
The ones
like,
with a million colors. Yeah,
I figured that'd be a good one, but then I was like, well, maybe people don't want that. So let me ask first.
No, they do. They do. Pajamas for all ages are a big one.
Anything cozy or comfy is great for a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a boy or girl or
right.
whatever.
No,
it don't matter.
True. It is true.
If it's to be honest, it's great for a 50-year-old man too. I'll take it.
And I tell you what, there are people every year that'll come out and donate cell phones, Game Boys, whatever it is.
They get some of the bigger.
They'll take this community.
I love that.
People who can are very good at knowing, well, there's nothing like a nice set of tennis shoes to make a difference in a kid's life.
And in some of these cases, these kids are probably treating it like it's their prized possession. You know what I mean?
Gosh. It's a life changer.
Yeah, when you receive something that you hold so dear, you're going to take care of it like it's your child. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, they do.
I imagine they get a phone or get something that they're blown away they would have got. It's literally probably the biggest gift they've ever received ever in the history of their life. They're going to treat that like it's, they're probably going to baby it.
It's treasured things like the quilt makers are amazing at giving us these gorgeous quilts. And there was this one girl who kept running away from home because she was so abused and so scared of everything.
Just looking for a place of comfort.
And the only thing she would ever consistently take with her was that quilt.
That speaks volumes.
Mm-hmm.
Speaks volumes. Yep.
And so gifts of all kinds.
Mm-hmm. Well, it goes back to that thing you were talking earlier when you just told that young man, good job. And you just kind of thought it would just be, well, thanks. And it turned into the moment it turned into. That's you're having those moments every day. Those random acts of kindness. Just giving someone a candy bar sometimes
little things
is the difference in cracking that armor and fixing a problem. You know what I mean? It's just
I honestly ask this community to pray for us too.
Mm-hmm.
My team of staff and volunteers, this is hard. I mean, this is hard. It's the stuff of nightmares. It's hard to slog on. They carry a lot of the pain that these children carry.
How do you guys handle the mental health side for yourselves? How do you take care of each other?
We have a very, very active wellness
because you need it
policy and program.
Yeah. To be the volunteers and stuff here, you gotta have your own support system.
And there's a lot of ways that we attack that, but we are very aware of wellness.
I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it here. You guys deal, like when we talk about law enforcement, some of the things they see and deal on it, you guys are seeing and dealing with the exact same level of stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And we talk about law enforcement and how they have, processes kind of stuff. We need that same kind for those volunteers, because when you see enough darkness, it jades you after a while, and you get slanted, you get depressed, you get your own mental health deterioration.
People do burn out. We do, we take very good care of our team.
Good, because that's the key. These and that's probably why your volunteers are so great, because they understand that yes, we're all about these kids, but we got to watch each other's back too.
Well, even yesterday it was happening. When there's a crisis, people tend to work nonstop, and they're in fifth gear, and I can't go, I can't relax, I can't eat lunch, I can't do this, and turned to one person and said, "You will leave, you will eat lunch, you will take a breath."
That is how humans cope with tragedy. Sometimes, is you put your nose to the grindstone and plow through it. And that's not a bad way to do it, but you got to know when to pull back on the reins
we take
sometimes.
care of that. But I tell you what, my team, whoa.
Yeah, that's
the
great.
Most amazing people. I mean, I wish people could be a fly on the wall to watch what happens.
I've met a few CASA volunteers, and to every single one of those person, they literally would give you the shirt off their back. They would literally give, even if they don't have enough of themselves, to make sure you're happy. Every one of those people I know are those type of people. And so if that's kind of you and you have that in your heart, please, you're needed. You are needed. We need more to join the force here to help, where I would like to say that every single child that comes through the doors of CASA, however way they came through it, they come out with a beautiful situation and a great foundation for whatever they want to do that life takes them. And by volunteering, that's how that happens. And because these kids are... we're living in a world where not everybody gets dealt the same deck of cards in life. It's just not. Some, where you put. And unfortunately, what we're dealing with is kids that they were just dealt a bad deck of cards here. They were put in a very bad situation, and it's not their fault. It's not any, you know what I mean? They just were here, and it's not fair for them to have to struggle for something that's not of their doing here. And that's what CASA is all about. It's like, let's pull back those barriers. Let's pull back all of the things that are holding you down, and let's find a way to let you succeed. And that's what CASA does at the end of the day, whether it's in that courtroom or mentor fun meeting or whatever's going on in a casa, under the casa, or the dogs hanging out at the library reading with kids. That's all part of that.
It is.
Yep, it is. I know I get a little soap, but this is really what we're talking about here. And this is,
So you have a heart for this. Thank you.
well, this is how we fix our community. If you're waiting for people to do it for you, you're going to wait a while. You got to get up and roll up your sleeves. You want to live in a nice place, you got to do your part to make that happen.
Well, and I will say our child abuse numbers are higher than they've been in a long time. We have as many children in foster care as there are in Bernalillo County right now. It is bad, the crisis in Chaves County right now. And we do not have enough advocates.
About to say, I would imagine, like you said, there's probably a waiting list. There's probably, a dozen families available and a waiting list of 50 long for foster.
Absolutely.
And I'm just guessing. I have no idea what the number is.
No, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
And so anybody who might be in, people who like sleuthing, people who love these crime shows, people who like a challenge, but to make a big difference, people who aren't afraid of difficult, those are the people I want.
Yeah.
And, there are a bunch of those people out there that love the crime shows.
Sure. Well, and to be honest,
that's the kind of brain I like.
With a lot of these kids, because of the situations they're coming from, they've built up walls to protect themselves. It's no different than domestic violence victims. You build walls to protect yourself. And those walls are pretty strong. And you got to break away at it. And you got to break away at it with love. That's pretty much the only way you can chip at it. And
a lot of tenacity.
Yeah. A stubborn mind and a lot of love. And you will eventually, a light will crack through that wall and it'll get there. Sometimes it's easier than others. And sometimes it just depends where these kids are and where they came from. And you've got to convince them that life is not really what they've experienced. There is a better side to it. And they've built themselves to protect themselves in the world they come from. And you've got to remind them the world you come from is not the world you're going to live in for the rest of your life. So let's get you ready for that. And that's kind of what you're dealing with. And if you can understand it from that perspective, instead of a perspective of this kid's just being defiant, just to be defiant, it's like, no, this kid's come from a different place.
They're coming from trauma.
And quite frankly, probably doesn't trust you fully yet. He maybe thinks, okay, I've been handed this card before. They hand me the carrot and then the sickle's behind the other hand. You know what I mean? I'm serious.
It takes time to build trust.
That's the mindset they're thinking here.
It takes time to build trust.
So that's what you're combating. And so
we're trained. We train folks to do it. And our team is, I have an amazing team that is beside the volunteer.
And I'm going to guess, too, once that happens, that light bulb moment or whatever it is, it kind of, now you've created a bond that I'm pretty sure you have a child for life. You know what I mean? We talk foster care system and things like that, but the ones that do it right, kind of almost a de facto adoption, and that's your kid for life.
I was CASA for a 15-year-old 35 years ago, and she's still in my life.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you know you made it in. You made a difference because at the end of the day,
she's great. She's an amazing woman.
You showed that person that there is love in this world, that there is humanity, there is a good side, and sometimes it's hard for them to see it, but once they do, then guess what? You probably got someone that'll go through a brick wall for you.
Oh yeah, no, she's a pretty neat person.
Yeah, so get involved in some way, and if you certainly need help, please come on down to the SunWest building. Do you have what's the office hours for that?
Yeah, I mean right now 9 to 5. We are going to have people there in the evenings too because you can also call us anytime. You can go on our website and we'll come to you if you need us to come to you. Just call. You don't have to come to us.
Excellent. So but if you want to, if you're out about in downtown, come on by or come in.
Right.
And then Casa Kids on Facebook. I know if you do Casa Kids on Facebook, you search it on the bar there. That way you can like and follow it. That's a great way to just stay up to date on resources. But if you do have a question or concern, you can shoot a message to there, and one of the staff or volunteers will definitely reach out to you as soon as humanly possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Is there anything else we wanted to
just remember Winter Wonderland's coming up?
Yes.
November 22nd.
And we'll get you back in to promote.
That'll be great.
Yeah, to get you back in to promote more of the nuts and bolts of that.
It's going to be a lot of fun this year.
But I imagine if you want to sponsor, if you want to get involved in any way, shape, or form, now's the time to reach out to Casa Kids and say, I mean, sure, they'll take they'll take it November 21st, but they really like some advance notice.
Oh, yeah.
Sure makes the publications and getting all the word out about it because they want to promote you. And so they want to make sure you're in all the publications and everything.
And there's already some decor out because our designer Adelina and Maribel are astounding. So go over to First American Bank. And
absolutely.
They are such lovely hosts for us.
Get the preview.
Yeah, and you can get the preview. It's fun. There's completely different stuff this year.
I'm pretty sure they plotted this year's probably the day after last year's. Like started the plotting and planning the day after last year.
Yeah, no, it takes a year. It is not something you can put together quickly.
They'll Monday morning quarterback it and talk about the good, the bad, the ugly.
Here we go. We go. But we've got it down now. And we just make it fun for people. So
if you've never been to a park, come to this first one, November 22nd, again at First American Bank. Come on down and support the kids. Come for a beautiful evening of dining and rubbing elbows and hanging out with folks, but helping these kids.
Right.
Absolutely. And celebrating the holiday spirit. And I imagine you even get to probably meet some of the kids that were in the program.
We usually have what was it? We had a sweet baby there last year that got passed around, one of our little foster babies. I'm sure there's a
and
he's big and precious and running around like a crazy man now.
Yeah. And see, that's part of the beauty for you personally. Yeah. Like you said, it's, when you were the foster parent, now you see them 10, 15 years later.
Oh, no, it's really neat.
And you're like, wow. And they're doing great. They got their own family now or something. That's, you're like, that's
there's some beautiful stories of kids growing up to break the cycle.
For every hard day where you come home and you're crying yourself to sleep, that's the day you're like, that's why I'm doing it right
And it keeps you going. I keep some letters in my desk. So if I'm having a hard day, I can pull them out and remember.
Yeah. So that's awesome. But that's what we're talking about. You're going to get the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, but at the end of the day, you're doing the Lord's work. You really are.
Amen. Amen. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much,
Mike. Thank you so much.
Anytime, and yes, please. I guess I'm pointing you. Reach out to me.
We know where to find you.
And then we'll get as we get closer to the event here in November.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. God bless.
Thank you guys, and thank you guys for what you do, and keep doing what you're doing, because quite frankly, without these people, you don't want to see what would be happening right now. That's
true.
Without
it's true.
Without CASA here, you would see a much darker place. That's all I'm saying.
It's very true. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, guys. It is 9:55. Let us pause for news and a couple commercials before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The city of Roswell is continuing to work to clear debris from last weekend's massive flooding. The city said Thursday that people should keep vehicles off the road in flooded areas and do not place large items in trash containers. Instead, just place the items along the curb at the street, not in the alleyway. Also, materials placed out for curbside pickup must not have any overhead obstructions and have a clear radius of 8 inches around them. You'll pay more for traffic citations in Carlsbad. This week, the Carlsbad City Council voted unanimously 7-0 to increase fines by $40 for 14 various traffic offenses. Ward 2 Councilor J.J. Chavez was absent from the meeting Tuesday night, so he did not vote. 5 cases of E. coli are now confirmed in New Mexico, with 1 death after a food safety alert was tied to McDonald's Quarter Pounders. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure overhead for now, so we'll stay clear for the overnight hours. A little windy and our low in the mid-50s, and then very gusty wind coming up on Tuesday. We have a fairly strong low pressure developing over the Four Corners area. That'll kick the wind up to about 40 miles an hour tomorrow. Watch out for some blowing dust. We will have sunshine, our high in the mid-80s. Cooler on Wednesday, 70 and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With a Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew. U.S. stocks saw big gains as big tech made up for some slides in oil and gas stocks. Oil prices tumbling after an Israeli retaliation against Iran for earlier missile attacks proved to be more restrained than many were expecting. Volkswagen plans to close at least 3 plants in Germany.
Employee Council Chief Daniela Cavallo said at a meeting with the Volkswagen workers that management also plans cuts at other sites. Volkswagen said in early September the auto industry headwinds mean it can't rule out plant closures in its home country. The company added it must drop a job protection pledge in force since 1994 that would have barred layoffs through 2029.
As correspondent Jeremy House, Boeing is looking to raise up to $19 billion in a stock offering as the aerospace giant tries to deal with a cash shortage. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you could call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Help benefit the Wounded Warrior Project with H.F. Sinclair, Saturday, November 9th at the Veterans Mission 5K Fun Run, Walk and Ride. This 5K Fun Run will begin and end at Beige Veterans Park in Artesia, and the course will take you around Eagle Draw, Walk or Run. Kids 6 and under can join on their bikes. Pre-registration is $25 for adults and teens, kids $10, and your four-legged companion only $5, with all proceeds to benefit Wounded Warriors. For more information or to sign up, visit hfsnm.com/veterans-mission-5K.
Have you experienced the Valley Cafe yet? It's much more than lunch or dinner. It's an experience. Chef Anthony Noble is a nominated Chef of the Year and manager with a 4.9 out of 5 kitchen cleanliness rating and a 4.8 out of 5 most love rating. It's time for you to experience the difference that so many others already have at the Valley Cafe. Visit for lunch or dinner at 801 West Brasher, the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell. And save the Valley Cafe in your contacts. 575-755-EATS. 575-755-3287. Don't forget, we can cater your event too, and a portion of our proceeds go to the Dream Center in Roswell.
Talk radio has landed on the all-new 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
And we're closing in on 10 o'clock. That's going to do it for us for today. If you missed any part of our show, just log on to ksvptv.com, click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. You'll find it there. Thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of your day. Have a great one. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Vice President Harris tonight will deliver a closing argument speech on the National Mall in Washington. White House correspondent Greg Clugston has that report.
With 1 week to go before the election, Harris will give her speech at the Ellipse near the White House. That's the same location where Donald Trump rallied supporters on January 6, 2021, right before the U.S. Capitol riot. The vice president will renew her call to defend democracy as she's done throughout her campaign, but aides say she'll make a broader case by pledging to Americans that she'll work to improve their lives